spend time with our families. As always, if you need assistance, call 575-746-3571 or visit cvecoop.org.
You're invited to join any Pecos Valley Baptist Association church for their Christmas services in Carlsbad at Blodgett Street Baptist, Christmas Day service at 8 a.m., at Cavern Church, Christmas Eve at 6 p.m., First Baptist Church in Carlsbad, Christmas Eve at 5 p.m., Christmas Day at 9:30 a.m., and at Happy Valley Baptist, Christmas Eve at 6 p.m., Christmas Day service in your jammies at 10:45 a.m.
If you have an item for Talktivities, email it to calendar@pvbcradio.com. That's calendar@pvbcradio.com.
Your home for Kim Commando in Roswell. 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. Elon Musk's tenure as Twitter boss may turn out to be short-lived. He had pledged to abide by the outcome of a poll he conducted, asking, should I step down as head of Twitter? Well, the results are in. 57.5% of those who voted said yes, he should step down. 42.5% said no. And more than 17.5 million people voted in that Twitter poll. Planning on going somewhere for the holidays later this week? Well, you could have some rough weather to deal with.
We're watching a pretty strong storm system that might track through the central to eastern U.S. leading up to the Christmas holiday. The storm system's probably going to be forming on the edge of an Arctic boundary that's going to be dropping through much of the country.
Zach Taylor at the National Weather Service says that along with bitterly cold temperatures across much of the nation, travel will be dicey in the east. Heavy rain in a lot of spots and heavy snow possible in the Ohio Valley and Great Lakes region. Heavy turbulence slammed a flight from Phoenix to Honolulu yesterday. 11 people seriously hurt in what Hawaiian Airlines officials are calling an isolated, unusual event.
Whenever there's possibilities of turbulence, we'll put on a seatbelt sign and ask people to buckle up. I would always recommend that people stay buckled whether the seatbelt sign is on or not, because sometimes these air pockets occur with no warning whatsoever.
Hawaii Airlines COO John Snook speaking with KITV. Russia continues to deploy explosive drones against civilian targets in Ukraine, including the capital. Russia launched 23 drones over Kiev while the city slept. Ukrainian forces, though, say they did manage to shoot down 18 of those Russian drones. On Wall Street right now, the Dow futures are down 2 points. NASDAQ futures 12 points higher. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Right now may be the perfect time for you to rethink how you pay for healthcare, and here's why. Not only is it open enrollment for a lot of people, it's also a time you can join MediShare and save even more than usual. And it's true, the typical family switching to MediShare saves $500 or more a month, which is obviously huge for a lot of people, but what's more, they like it. MediShare has double the customer satisfaction rate compared to health insurance. Double. There are 400,000 members. They've shared over $4 billion in medical bills, and it really is a great community, too. People encourage and pray for each other. And here's the thing. If you join MediShare Complete right now, they'll waive your new member fees, and you'll save an additional 10% off all of 2023. That's right. No fee to join, 10% off every month of next year, but it's a very limited time offer. You have to sign up before December 31st. Great savings, great health care. Find out more. Call now. 844-41-BIBLE. That's 844-41-BIBLE. 844-41-BIBLE.
Russian President Putin is in Belarus for talks with his ally Alexander Lukashenko as Russian troops stationed in Belarus begin joint military drills.
For a few days now, the Ukrainians have been saying that they believe Russia could be planning a new major ground offensive early next year, and that another incursion from Belarus could happen. Experts say that they haven't seen any indication suggesting that the Russians are planning to carry out this major offensive. They have questioned the ability of Russian troops to carry out a major offensive, and also whether the Russians would be able to do so over the winter when conditions are not favorable for those kinds of operations.
The BBC's Hugo Bashega in Kiev. A former Japanese soldier who went public with her sexual misconduct case says that harassment was as rampant in her army unit as if part of daily communication. News and analysis, townhall.com. The European Union accusing Facebook parent Meta of breaching the EU's antitrust rules.
The bloc's executive commission says it takes issue with a tech company tying its online classified ad business, Facebook Marketplace, to Facebook. The European Commission says that means Facebook users automatically have access to Marketplace, whether they want it or not. The Commission says Meta also imposes unfair trading conditions on competing online classified ad companies that advertise their services on Facebook or Instagram.
That's correspondent Jeremy House. Chinese health officials reporting that country's first COVID-19 deaths in more than 2 weeks. The 2 deaths occurred in Beijing. They come as the illness is surging after China eased its strict zero-tolerance approach. That approach had sparked unprecedented protests all around the country. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
Feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The devil said, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican
broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy Holiday Monday, sort of.
The Monday before Christmas.
Yeah.
It's official.
Yeah, a week from now, it'll all be over. Mostly.
Oh, thank God.
But
a week from now, we'll be off.
Yeah. Today, a week from today, we'll be celebrating the government
Christmas,
the holiday portion of it. But happy holiday week, everybody. Hope everyone's having a good day. Had a good weekend.
Mm-hmm. Busy, very busy.
Yeah, I got a story.
Yeah,
I don't have time this hour to tell. I will do it next hour.
All right. You tease.
Well, did you feel the earthquake Friday?
I did not.
All right, I did.
Yeah. I came to a realization on this.
Yeah.
The difference is children.
Yeah.
Because everyone I have talked to that has kids didn't feel the earthquake.
Yeah.
They were busy. They were up doing stuff, taking care of their kids. Everybody else gets to relax.
I too.
Kicked back, probably had their feet up, probably had a nice rum drank.
I too was busy. I felt.
And you felt the earth move under your feet.
I will save the story for next time.
All right. You tease.
To do it justice, I need. Oh, that just ended up there. It's a weird thing when people aren't here. What goes on in this room?
It's fun. There's paper airplanes.
I've actually made that Friday, and I threw it, and it didn't go very far, and I forgot about it. That's what happened there.
I like you worked up the back rudders.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I was. I think I was on a phone call fidgeting.
Nice.
I didn't have nothing to fidget with, so I made that. But anyway.
Well planed.
Deplaned. Hey, happy Monday. Mm-hmm. Welcome to it.
Yeah.
Kids are off school. They're all happy or sleeping at this moment. My wife was sound asleep when I left, so
I bet.
Slightly jealous about that. But yeah, so. But yeah, it's all good.
Last night we had I don't even want to call it rain. It was just like mist last night, and it was just enough to wet my window and make it to where like it wasn't even like ice on my or like a thin sheet of ice. It was like a thick coating of ice.
Yeah,
on my windshield.
Was this about 5-ish last night? I know we got some rain about 5-ish.
I want to say like 5 or 6. Yeah.
Yeah. It was around that times when I heard the rain.
I didn't do a lot of moving.
Yeah, I was getting ready to watch the game, which did not end the way I wanted it to.
No?
No. Giants won. And, of course, a lot of people can blame the refs, and they would not be wrong, but they lost. What are you going to do?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yes. Was that clearly pass interference in the end zone at the end of the game? You betcha.
You bet it was.
But they lost the game.
Can't win them all. They've had a arguably better season than in the past few.
Yeah, well, last night was a big one, and they blew it, and it probably ends the Cinderella run here, I'm thinking, because their playoff chances went from like 80% if they won last night to like 20% if they lost, and, well, they didn't win, so you do that math.
But it's statistically speaking, you're doing better this year than you have in past years.
Yeah, we suck less.
But it's a building year.
That's a lot.
I always make the joke that it's a building decade, but think about it. The big changes are happening in this season. The new name, the new uniforms,
which all could go out the window.
Sure, the new feel, the new attitude of we're something. People are talking about us again. We're in the zeitgeist.
Yeah, we're a hot mess.
Well, yeah, fine. Well, I'm trying here, man.
They literally all I'm seeing is articles saying like, hey, if Dan Snyder sells a team, which sounds like they're going to happen, there's like a 75% chance they're going to rebrand the whole thing again. And so we might be dealing with a whole new name change here next year when this is all.
And it'll be a building year again.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of that term.
20 years. Yeah.
You can use that term over and over and over again.
We've been rebuilding since 1991.
That's right.
But anyway, yeah. So anyway, it is what it is.
I'm a Packers fan. We had a lot of building years.
Yeah. You got tonight.
Yep.
You guys are playing the Rams tonight. By the way, for me to win in my fantasy football playoffs, I need like 30, 40 points from your running back, please.
I'll put in a good word and we'll do what we can.
All right, good. Thank you.
Do it for Mike.
That's right. Redskins lost, or excuse me, Commanders lost. He needs a favor because we got another dumb name. Anyway, happy Monday, everybody. I'm really in a good mood. Let me give you the rundown. We're going to replay some interviews. We do have a guest coming in the 9 o'clock hour, but we're going to replay an interview, which I need to get going because it's kind of long.
Lengthy.
Bill Williams, Chaffetz County Manager, joined us on Friday to give us the rundown from County Commission meeting last week, so we're going to play that for you. In the 8 o'clock hour, about 8:15 last Wednesday, the Chaffetz County Federated Republican Women joined us, give us an update on their next meeting, which is this Wednesday. So we're going to play that for you. And then Tracy Fry with the Roswell Public Library going to drop in for a visit in the 9 o'clock hour, get us an update what's happening at the Roswell Public Library. Plus, we'll have all of your features that include the news of the local and national variety, along with your Wall Street business updates, Chaffetz County Sports with Eric Butler, and whatever else we can come up with for today's show. Before we do any of that, though, let's get a gander at your weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We have much colder temperatures on the way by the end of the week with an Arctic air mass headed our way. Pretty mild today, though. Our high going up to 60, a little bit breezy and lots of sun. Clear for the overnight hours in mid-20s, and then we're in the low 50s with some cloud cover moving back in on Tuesday. Back to sunshine on Wednesday in mid-50s, 30s for the high on Thursday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 24 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 88%. Winds variable at 3 miles per hour. As Steve mentioned, pretty nice and mild today. Sunny, 62 for a high. Winds will be out of the northwest 5 to 10 this morning, 10 to 15 this afternoon. Skies will be clear tonight with an overnight low of 26 degrees. North winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tuesday, mostly sunny, 54 for a high tomorrow. North winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tomorrow night, mostly cloudy. Overnight low of 28. East winds at around 5 miles per hour. Wednesday, mostly sunny, 55 for a high. Southwest winds 5 to 10. Thursday, sunny and 41. And then the cold front rolls in Thursday night. We're looking at mostly clear skies with an overnight low of 7 Thursday night. Friday, mostly sunny, 25 for a high on Friday. And then good news is we'll be back up into the 40s by Saturday, and Saturday, and then Saturday night, Christmas Day, will be up 49.50 on Sunday. So, but Thursday night into Friday, boy howdy, is it going to get cold. So prepare accordingly. All right, it is 7:14. We're going to get you into your Roswell Livestock Report with Smiley Wooten for you Monday morning, and then we'll take a quick commercial break. Then we'll play our interview we had on Friday with Chaves County Manager Bill Williams. That's up next. Don't go away.
Good morning, this is Smiley Wooten at the Roswell Livestock Auction. A good run for the last sale of 2022, and a nice selection of all classes of cattle, especially high-quality weaned calves, light yearlings, young and middle-aged bred cows. We expect to sell 1,400 head. Break it down like this: 125 weaned cows and bulls, 125 pairs bred cows, 1,150, 1,200 calves and yearlings. Today's sale will include 20 bred cows, Huseman Land and Cattle Company at Glencoe, New Mexico. Excellent quality 90% black, white face Angus cross cows bred to Pole, Hereford, and Angus bulls 5 to 9 years old, mostly 5 to 7s. 21 bred cows, J&G Cattle Company, Denver City, Texas. Excellent quality 90% black, white face Angus cross cows bred to Angus bulls 5 to 7 years old. 8 young Hereford bred cows, LS Cattle Company here at Corona, New Mexico. Excellent quality Hereford cows bred to Angus bulls 5 to 8 years old. 187 calves of Taylor Ranch here west of Roswell. Excellent quality 85% yellow and smoky Charolais crossbred calves, cattle weaned 55 days, 3 rounds of shots, 400, 600 pounds. Also 38 calves off the Taylor Ranch west of Roswell. Excellent quality Angus cross calves, weaned 45 days, 3 rounds of shots, bunk broke, 400, 550 pounds. 43 yearlings, Radcliffe Ranch, Portales, New Mexico. Excellent quality crossbred yearlings, cattle weaned 100 plus days, 2 rounds of shots, 625, 725 pounds. 37 calves, Dion Julian, Reserve, New Mexico. Excellent quality black, white face Angus and Brangus cross calves, cattle weaned 45 days, 2 rounds of shots, 375, 575 pounds. 25 heifer yearlings, McCaslin Ranch at Eunice. Quality black, white face Angus and Brangus crosses, pregged open at the ranch, 700, 850 pounds. 83 calves, Mr. George Wenzel here northwest of Roswell. Excellent quality black, white face, red, white face 8th year crossbred calves, shots at Brandon, 500, 650 pounds. 24 calves, James Howe Trust, Lakewood, New Mexico. Excellent quality black Brangus cross calves, weaned, 1 round of shots, 350, 450 pounds, and 25 steer calves, Stanzany Ranch, Magdalena, New Mexico. Excellent quality black, white face Angus cross calves, shots at Brandon, 400, 550 pounds. Sale time this morning be at 9 o'clock. Sale pairs, bred cows, 9:45 to 10. Be selling calves and yearlings about 10 to 10:45. Next sale at RLA, Monday, January the 9th, 2023. We expect to sell 1,400 head here today. This is Smiley Wooten, Roswell Livestock Auction.
Pressure Services LLC in Artesia has immediate openings for experienced vacuum truck, kill truck, and hydrovac operators. Operators must hold a Class A CDL or Class D CDL, at least 2 years of experience, and be at least 25 years of age. All positions require a clean driving record and must be able to pass a DOT drug and alcohol screen. Pressure Services offers great pay with IRA benefits and employer contributions toward health benefits. Please apply in person at 402 West Main in Artesia, inside the Ed Safety Facility. Equal Opportunity Employer.
It's possible to turn peanut butter into diamonds. Peter Pan tried it with his buddy Skippy, but they couldn't do it in a jiff. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 20 minutes after 8 o'clock, and joining us now officially in studio, Chaves County Manager Bill Williams with us. Good morning.
Good morning. Good to
How
see you.
How you doing? Good seeing you,
I'm
too.
doing well.
I got a question I kind of noticed. Yesterday I was watching some of the commission meeting on video yesterday, and I got to see some of the parts there. And I noticed popping in and out of the picture every once in a while was the guy
Riggs.
you replaced, Stan Riggs. I'm like, I thought he'd gone. Does he still come back for meetings and things? Or
He comes to some of our meetings.
Okay.
Stan is an attorney, of course.
Sure.
And after he retired from public service, he opened his law firm.
So he's doing that in that capacity.
Right. And so we have a professional services contract with Stan to come in and help us through legal matters.
Cool.
Which there's an abundance of.
It was just nice to see. I was like, hey, there's Stan.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, yeah. And I was like, maybe he still keeps.
He was moving around a lot yesterday. I don't know. He must have drank too much coffee or something.
Maybe he just had a lot of caffeine coursing through the veins there.
Actually, I don't think I've ever seen him drink a cup of coffee, but he doesn't mind his Coke in the morning or whatever.
When he come on the radio, he'd usually have his 32-ounce beverage of choice there ready to go. So.
When, of course, he drove in from Albuquerque, so he may have drank 3 or 4 of those on the way in. And
he could be gone.
Not had a chance to stop at the bathroom before the meeting or something. He was moving around a lot yesterday.
a lot of trips back and forth there. I get it. But yes, the county commission meeting met, like we said, I guess technically not officially for the final time of 2022, but really the official business meeting. And
right.
And about the 10-15 minutes I watched, it was a lot of housekeeping type stuff, claiming roads, stuff that's atypically done at a commission meeting.
Well, and one of the neat things about this time of year, there's 2 times a year we do employee longevity pins, and we handed out pins anywhere from 5 years. That's the first pin that you get, then 10, 15, of course.
Sure.
All the way from 5 years to 25 years. We had 2 retirement plaques where they had put in over 20 years. We don't give a plaque unless they've been in over 20 years. So we ranged from 5 to 26 years yesterday.
That's great.
And it was probably, I'm guessing, 15% of our entire staff received pins yesterday. So, I mean, once people get on at the county, they really like it. They really become dedicated and experts in their areas and provide a valuable service to our community.
That's always a good
indicator.
When you look at, when people are looking for employment and things, and Eddy County's the same way. They have employees that have been there 20, 30 plus years too. And so when you see people that have stayed at one place, or at least within the county, maybe they've gone to different positions within the county, but stayed with the county 10, 15, 20, 30 years, that really shows that people are happy. People don't stay at places 30 years that they're not happy at.
We have one lady that got a 25-year pin. She's not retiring. She's staying there.
Yeah.
Got 25 years. What am I going to do? Go to Walmart and make less money?
I might as well keep doing this till I can anymore.
And so we're really honored to have that many people that work so hard for us.
Now, granted, I mean, the benefits, all the perks and stuff that comes with working for the county is definitely a big incentive. But again, you can get that stuff at other places if you're not happy. And so what I'm saying is, if you're looking for a career and when openings come through the county and you're qualified for them, it's probably a pretty good step up for folks.
Well, with the minimum wage going up every year by statute, we have to meet a certain amount within 2 or 3 years. We just went ahead and increased all of our starting wages to $15 an hour. So we don't have to keep going back every year and adjusting it.
Sure.
We just went to $15 an hour for the...
That'll cover you for a couple of years till they do
something crazy again. But every single job, starting level job, no experience, whatever, you get on $15 an hour.
15 an hour.
Yeah. And detention is $16 an hour. We actually... it's $15.96 for the very lowest level. It's essentially $16 an hour, but those people work so hard and they're so dedicated. We're short-staffed in detention as they are all over the U.S., but certainly all over New Mexico.
Sure.
Those people are putting in so many hours overtime. We said, you know what? We appreciate what you're doing. You're getting your wage, and then you're getting time and a half, which then makes that about $26 an hour.
Sure. So they're making good money.
16. So we said, but still, we don't feel like we're taking good enough care of you. So we initiated an incentive program.
Okay.
After they've done a certain level of overtime, then they start getting additional money on top of that.
Oh,
so
nice.
they end up making, potentially $30-something an hour, $35, $38. I haven't figured out exactly what it is. After they put in some overtime and stuff.
And they earn every penny.
They earn every penny, and
it's a reward, but they're earning
big shout out to the detention people. They work very, very hard, very long hours, and it's not a job that I would ever want to do.
Sure,
it's
but
just
we're very
difficult.
thankful for what they do.
Very thankful.
And the people that do it well, and if that is kind of your cup of tea and things, like I said, they treat you pretty well. You got pretty good. I know, like I said, being in law enforcement or corrections is not for everybody. It just isn't.
Well, I mean, the first time I walked into the jail, to the backside of the jail, and not in cuffs. I
wasn't being processed.
I was escorted, but I wasn't
being processed.
Forced to be escorted. I was just amazed at the professionalism.
Mm-hmm.
Every single person in there knows their job, knows exactly what to do. They know what's going on.
Sure.
I mean, they know everything that's happening, and it's pretty cool to watch.
It is. And what I like, too, is because of, obviously, the big renovations and remodels have been done over the last several years, and just the complete retrofitting and upgrading of the facility. It's at a point where it's like, I'm not saying it's like Club Med Taj Mahal, but what I'm saying is there's not overcrowding issues.
Mm-hmm.
There's not the things that plague other correction facilities that inherently create more problems.
Right.
Our detention center has zero of that.
Well, and I don't know if you've ever had food from there. You know, Summit Foods.
I have not.
Were you on a hunger strike when you were there? Okay. So, Summit Foods is the contractor that provides the meals.
Yeah.
And often there will be an event somewhere in town, and they will provide the meals for that, and the food is really good.
Okay.
They have really good food.
Hey, we only go to lunch today,
So
Jill.
there's one bright spot, you know. So, but yeah, they're great, and we're really glad that we're able to do that sort of thing with wages and taking care of our staff.
That's also a perk, because I imagine a lot of people in corrections have probably worked in much harsher, rougher conditions.
Sure.
And so they're kind of like, hey, I'm getting great pay. Oh, by the way, the facilities are nice. The equipment we have is what we should be. You know what I mean? That goes a long way. It's not always about money for some folks. It's like, hey, they just understand
and
what
the
we need to do here.
retirement, you know, and that's hard for younger people to understand. When you're my age, I mean, retirement's, you know, kind of a big part of a job. But
when you're in your 20s, you're not
entry-level job, we pay more towards a person's retirement than they actually put into their retirement.
And career in law enforcement stuff at 20 years, you can.
Well,
I don't know the whole story, but
the sheriffs are 20 years. The detention center, they're not currently classified the same way.
Okay,
so they do go at 25 years.
They go the regular with the rest of the county.
And of course, they also have to put in a little additional to their retirement in order to retire in that 20 years. So it's kind of on both sides of the deal. We'll give you a 20-year retirement, but you also have to put in more. And we don't make those rules. That's through the public employees retirement.
Yeah. Oh, interesting. So, well, good point is, after all we said and done, is look, if you're looking for a career with the county, just prove that by showing all the folks that have been serving and working for the county for 10, 15, 20 plus years.
Right.
There's a lot of them, and that just shows you county's a good place to work. So when you see job openings, you know, check back off into the county's website. See, they always got openings showing up, and certainly in corrections, but road and every department within the county.
The sheriff's department is urgently needing law enforcement, and if you're not certified but you're of age, they'll put you through the academy and get you there.
They will get you ready for the academy.
Right.
Yes.
And detention, we're always hiring at detention. Road department is a pretty regular employer. All of our departments are, but certainly those three you can get in pretty quickly. And they're decent pay, you know, it really is.
And then, of course, the other, you know, every other, you know, clerk's office to the commission's office to your office. Everyone's got employees, too, that from time to time you need to get a new one. So it happens. So.
Yeah, and occasionally someone does retire.
Yes.
You know.
Someone says, 30 years is enough. I want to go, see the world or whatever,
So yesterday at our meeting, before we had our meeting, we had our indigent health care meeting. We do that every quarter now.
Okay.
And so they come in and they tell us what expenses they've had and what bills they've paid for people who are unable to pay for their own health, their funeral benefits, and that kind of thing. A lot of times people don't understand all the things that the county provides.
Sure.
And that's one of the things we provide.
Now, is that where do you guys pay them directly, or are you the conduit through the state, basically?
Well, the vendor, whether it's the hospital, whether it's La Casa, whatever healthcare provider it is, they have to send it through.
Gotcha.
And we pay them.
You're the kind of the backing. So
we pay them the Medicare rate.
Okay.
Or Medicaid, whichever one it is.
Right. Okay.
If the bill's $100, but actually, we can whittle that down to $60. Our people, Jeff Ortega and Maria, they look at every bill, they figure everything out, they make sure that we pay the minimum we have to, but we make sure that the hospitals, doctors are whole in this whole thing. But that's $4.9 million is what we've dedicated to that this year. And so that's one of those things people don't realize.
It's a lot of money.
And it's a mandated thing.
Sure.
We have to pay for indigent persons.
Well, you've heard that no hospital can refuse service for someone that's in an emergency need and things like that. And guess what? Someone still pays for it. That's where it comes from, is the indigent fund.
And every prisoner, all the health care that's involved there,
that's through that as well.
Everything goes through that. Yeah.
Gotcha.
And so anyway, that's one of the things we do. And then we had an additional almost $28,000 in other benefits to one of our local providers that they had a little bit of a problem with their billing company. They changed, and the billing company wasn't quite up to speed, and so they got a little behind. But I think we got caught up with them with an additional $28,000. But
good deal.
But over the last 3 months, and like I say, we do this quarterly. It looks like we're at about $1.3 million over the last 3 months alone, just in indigent health care. So there are things that are happening. Not only your roads and
sure,
those kind of things. The public health department, we're in the process of building a new $6 million health department because we're required, as a county, required by statute to provide for the public health department, cooperative extension service. Plus, we have a lot of other partnerships. One of the things that we did yesterday was we approved 2 lease agreements with Chaves County Joy Center.
Yes, kind of renewed those leases with them, basically.
And
that's around where I tuned in, was when all that was
those 2 buildings, whenever you calculate what the fair market rental is, because the buildings do belong to Chaves County, it's $250,000 a year. However, what we do with our partners, like the Joy Center, and last month we were talking about a Tobosa lease that we did, which was another $200,000. We can't by law give anything away because that's anti-donation. You can't give it to an individual or to a...
Because you don't want to show favoritism. And
right.
Now, granted, none of this is really what that is, but we don't want the impression that that's what that is. So
you have to show the services that entity provides for the community. So what we did is we had $250,000 worth of rent for the Hagerman Joy Center, the Roswell Joy Center, and they have 4 Joy Centers altogether. These were just the 2 leases
that were coming up this time.
Right. And so we say, okay, they provide this many meals, they provide this kind of transportation, and you assign a dollar value to that, a fair dollar value, and say they provide more in services to our community than they would pay in rent. Therefore, we only charge them an administrative fee every year. So these 2 buildings cost them $800 a year.
Nice.
Well, and that's broken up into quarterly payments.
Well, but based on what services they provide the community.
Very glad to do that.
It's saving. It's a win-win. The Joy Center gets a break on their rent, and the county's like, look, these are services that really.
If you weren't providing them, we would be doing it. You're doing a better job. You're experts on that.
Exactly.
So let us help.
And I invite people to go back and watch the commission meeting during this part because, again, I just so happen to be watching at this time. Around that time, Commissioner Dana had kind of explained why the county does it this way as opposed to, and explains it, and it makes sense because, comparing the city to the county is kind of like comparing apples to oranges. It's the needs that the city have to meet aren't the same as the needs that the county has to meet, so it's done a different way. But
and they're all valuable services. But the city's more what you see more in the news with the city is they're building a building, they're paving a parking lot, doing Main Street, providing some kind of assistance to an entity on Main Street. The county has 1,400 miles of roads out in the county.
It's just you guys have a different set of needs or things that you are responsible for. And so, and to be honest, if the county tried to create their own mental health facility program, they're going to spend probably 20 times more than what they're doing through Tobosa.
Right.
And Tobosa's already in place doing it and state of the art. Why just say, hey, how can we support you as opposed to let's reinvent the wheel over here?
La Casa Mental Health, another shout out to them. A few years ago, we had a mental health provider that pretty much up and left town in the middle of the night. And we said, oh, no, what do we do? There's no mental health here.
In the middle.
Yeah, I mean, it was very sad.
Reminiscent of the Baltimore Colts going to Indianapolis.
Very good. I like it. So they stepped in and said, hey, I think we can help with this, but we're going to need your assistance. So we actually lease a large building up behind Big Five Sporting Goods, And when we started out, it was such a huge deal for the whole area, and we said, how are we going to cover this? And no one had prepared that with their budget because they weren't expecting it. The city and the county, the county leases the building. The city and the county both put in money so that they didn't have any rent initially, or a very small amount of rent initially, till they could get their people moved, get the thing fully staffed, get on their feet. And then the city pulled out. The county is still providing that building to them at a very reduced rate, just to provide those healthcare services in town.
Yeah.
We also have another building at 1010 South Garden that is also a La Casa mental health facility. And same sort of thing. We don't charge them the full amount. And there's also a La Casa Health Center over on Grand Street. All these buildings around town that we own, we don't try to make a profit off of them in most cases. I mean, we try to find an entity that we can put in there that will provide a service to the community better than we could do. Because as we all know, once government gets involved, you get red tape and all kinds of other issues that make it harder to do the job. And I'm not being, facetious. I mean, that's really true.
You're just saying the way of the world and how it is, and you can ignore it or work with it, and that's what the county's doing.
And that's, I think that all of our commissioners are in line with that. They don't want to run everything. They don't want to run interference for the federal government or for state statutes. They don't want to include all this red tape. They want it to move smoothly and take care of the people in town, and they're all in.
And it makes it great because, entities like La Casa and these other entities do an amazing job as being stewards of these resources, and so they come each year and report back on what's going on, and should we keep going, and every year the work they do far exceeds the money and resources the county are giving them to do it.
Right.
And
absolutely.
And so we thank them for that.
Right.
But we also appreciate the fact that the county's like, look, we're not trying to reinvent the wheel here. You guys are better at it than we are. Let you guys do it. Let us find ways to support that.
Yeah.
And that's smart
and another
government,
thing,
I think.
people don't always understand too is, for instance, our road department, we budget them several $1 million a year. They're one of the big three. We've got the sheriff, the jail, and the road department, our biggest three things in the county.
Sure.
The jail at $9 million. I think road department's about $5 million. I don't recall what the SO is off the top of my head. But those are all services we provide to the community.
Yeah.
So we also apply for grants and ask the state for help and all that. Even when we get money from the state, there's usually a matching component. So, for instance, the local government road fund pays for a portion of the roads. Not every road has to meet certain criteria, but every year we put in for different roads. But we have to pay a matching fund as well. So not only do we have our budget set aside for maintaining county roads or whatever other things that the county road department does,
But to match these grants.
but
and
also
things.
we
Wow.
have to find monies to match these grants.
Right.
So the fact that we got lucky this year, we got $1 million from the state, doesn't necessarily mean you got $1 million. That means you got $750,000, and you've got to come up.
But
with
it's still a win-win because
yes, absolutely
the
right.
work needs to be done regardless. And if we have to pay for half of it instead of all of it, I'll take half.
Well, and that's been the attitude with our county employees. They work very hard to save money on every place that they can, so that those tax dollars do go farther to assist more entities or whatever throughout our community and do more things.
Absolutely. So, but yes,
I'm doing a lot of talking. I got a lot of ground to cover here.
But yeah, we did get it. But the point of all that is, if you want to go back and listen to that part, it's on the Facebook and all that. Dare does an amazing job of just kind of breaking down a little bit there. So I love when not only are they conducting business, but they're also kind of peeling back the curtain and saying, we do it this way for this reason. And that's so I invite you to go back and watch if you have more questions about that.
Right. So yesterday we planned to have some proclamations for our local champions. We have 2 volleyball teams and a football team that were amazing. Unfortunately, we, being out of school for a while, we meaning me, I've been out of school a long time, forgot that this time of year you have final tests and
so it was not a good time.
So it was not a good time for the school. So we're going to readdress that in January. So we will give them a proclamation in January.
Well, there's almost enough schools around the county that we could have a whole meeting just to honor all of our great achievements by our students. Yeah.
That's a fact. And we do these proclamations for these athletes regularly. I mean, we have some amazing young people here, and like I say, it's not only athletics, but
FFA to band to all the extracurricular activities. Yeah,
I mean, we've got a great future here, and I hope that every one of the students that are here stays here.
That's right. By the way, county again has some, when you get out of college here,
got some good jobs. So yesterday, one of the things that we did, we talked about the longevity pins. We also awarded Commissioner Cavan a plaque and proclaimed December the 31st Will Cavan Day in Chaves County for his work that he's done over the last 8 years with Chaves County and on the national level and state level.
Should we all wear a certain hat or something?
I think we should wear a short-brimmed hat with a ribbon on the edge.
I feel like
belly in color.
I feel like that might be appropriate. Yeah,
he's great, and we're going to miss him. We have a replacement coming in, if there is such a thing as a replacement for Will Cavan. But Michael Perry's going to be coming in. We're very excited. He brings a lot of stuff to the table, and we'll be looking forward to working with him.
And I imagine would that be the first meeting of 2023 where they decide who the president is?
The chairman and vice chairman. Yeah,
I always mess up the terminology, but
the
dude in charge.
And the committees then will be established shortly after that.
Sure.
We usually don't do that right away in January because the chairman needs time to kind of sift through it and decide
which committees are going to keep, which ones to remove, and things, so forth and so on. Yeah.
So we do that. We had our annual report from the Chaves County Flood Control. Brian Hotelin has taken over at the flood control as the superintendent. He's the interim superintendent. Dick Smith, after I think it's 37 years, has retired. He's still around. He's still helping out. He's still making introductions with Brian. He's just amazing.
To do it.
He is an amazing guy. I don't know if you know Dick Smith, but that man, I mean,
I'm trying to think. I don't remember if I may have.
He's 81, 82 years old, and I'm telling you, I wouldn't even want to arm wrestle him, much less foot race or anything else. He's just an amazing individual. Yes. So we had a report from Finley Engineering, a broadband report. We contracted for this back in April, I believe it was. And we have ARPA funds, and one of the national initiatives is to make sure that everyone has access to broadband throughout our nation. Part of COVID, you know, everyone's heard of it. And so we said, we don't know the first thing about broadband. We don't know. Yeah. You know, I barely know how to use it, much less if I have
I'm trying to get the router to work in my house.
And of course, New Mexico and Chaves County, certainly, we have lots of areas that are not ever going to be taken care of really well with broadband and stuff. It's just so remote and difficult, you know, obstacles in the way for line of sight.
And to be honest, these are also places where other amenities like water and electricity aren't even easy to get to, let alone broadband internet, you know.
Right. And again, kind of maybe need to prioritize a little bit. But anyway, our federal government has prioritized broadband as one of the things we need in our lives, and
they're not wrong. I mean, that's the way of the world, and you know, it's going to happen. But yeah, you know,
kind of like we were talking a minute ago. We don't know the first thing about broadband, so you have to find someone that can help you understand broadband. We have our local internet service providers, you know, like CenturyLink, Plateau, LECO, PVT, and we had representatives from some of them there yesterday as well, wanting to hear this report where they identified what the issues were, what the problems were, and maybe what some of the solutions are, and then what we think will happen next. And it's a very difficult thing to understand. Just understanding what the issue are with broadband is part of it, but then the other is, now how do we use public monies to partner with a local internet service provider, for instance? There were 3 of them that got grants from the FCC to build out some of this stuff. Even prior to this report, they've all been working on it. One award was to Starlink. The FCC canceled that. There's a very small award to Penasco Valley Telephone, PVT, that they're going to work towards getting that done. They're funded. But the biggest part of the county, a company called Resound Networks, was awarded the deal by the FCC, but they've never actually finished it out with the money. So they may cancel it like they did the Starlink. No one knows, but it's a huge piece of the puzzle, and no one else can put in for a project in those areas because they're already covered. You can't put in a project in an area someone else has already put in a project for.
Yeah.
So a huge part of our county is wrapped up in an FCC thing that may not ever happen. We don't know. And we don't know whether it's
this is why people
this
make
company
jokes about the
doesn't
government.
have the financial backing to do what they said. They came up with a great idea, but they have a wheelbarrow and two guys pushing it.
They overextended their promises a little bit.
We don't know what the situation is, but it's of very much concern that this one company has the bulk of the county and no one else can put in for that. So
it does feel a little weird.
The price for bringing our county up to the standards, according to this
I'm sure
Finley Engineering,
astronomical
between $45 million and $54 million. So the counties don't have that kind of money.
Right.
The internet service providers don't. So what we do is we try to help facilitate these government grants or whatever, and then we also would put in a portion of the money for that from our ARPA funds. But to do the final mile or the middle mile, I think they call it, to cover every little inch, and those really hard to reach areas, the price goes up exponentially to do, a short distance out in the middle of the boot heel or something. But that's $54 million is what they're considering to be the amount. If we were to leave out some of those really difficult spots to fill, we're looking at $45 million. But even the technology has changed since they started talking about this. When they first started talking, they said that they felt that appropriate broadband was 10 and 1. Upload speeds of 10 megabytes per second, download speeds of 1. Then after they started, they said, no, that's not fast enough. Let's go 25 and 5. 25 upload, 5 download speed. Or
I think it's the other way around.
I think it's the other way.
Yeah, 25 down, 5 up.
5 up. You're right.
Because most people use down unless you're
and so
putting things up there.
They said, well, we don't think that that's enough either. So finally, they've settled on 120 down. So 100 up.
That's high-speed internet.
And yes.
Yeah.
But actually, there's already a push in the ARPA language that says they want 100 symmetrical. So they want the ability to go up and down 100 megabytes per second. So
like fiber's the only one.
Well, and that's it. A
lot of this about the only one that's doing that now.
And
is
hubs
fiber,
and whatnot. But we're anxiously anticipating where this goes.
Well, and
we don't know.
And this is just because of what my business, and I can't go too long because we got to finish up. But when you're dealing with like the cable internet and things, that there's a disparaging. The downloads usually like 100-200, but the uploads like 3-5. Whereas fiber, it's usually that consistent either way. If you got 50 up, you'll get 50 down or whatever it is. And so what they're talking here is, I don't think even achievable by anything other than fiber right now. Maybe, I don't know about satellite, but cable, it's too...
It seems from what I've understood, and like I say, this is very complex, and best laid plans. They had a representative coming down to do the presentation for us, so he flew to New Mexico, drove in, whatever the case was, got to Roswell, woke up sicker than a dog, couldn't make it in, so they still had to do it by telephone. So we did a slideshow.
But the internet wasn't working, so it was in and out.
So there you go. Our download speeds. But anyway, we're looking forward to seeing where that goes and how it shakes out. And again, that's one of the things that the county is mandated with assisting the funding on. Now, there's no way we can fund $45 million in Chaves County.
It sounds nice.
The state of New Mexico has $1 billion, they think, and they're not clear how much of this huge chunk of money that Washington sent to the state. They have $1 billion to assist in these projects, but we have to do our part and help them to kind of shape them and partner with them to some degree.
Well,
but again, like I say, we don't know how we can partner with a for-profit company that once they build it out, they're going to be making money off of it. That goes against what our county is supposed to do. So we have to find out what those details are.
Do the math there. If say every county, every county wouldn't average around $50 million to do this. Maybe Bernalillo probably wouldn't have to spend that much. That's a little more...
Well, that's right. But the smaller the county, the more remote, the higher it's going to be.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So we'll say it's, I don't know if that $1 billion sounds like a lot, but when you think about it in those terms and say each county roughly is going to need around $50 million.
Have you ever driven to Clayton, New Mexico? Yeah. Miles and miles, a beautiful area, but nothing.
Sure.
Nothing out there.
Especially just Roosevelt counties that are, next county over. I mean, they're pretty rural too.
They're not as populated as Chaves
This
County.
is true, but if we've got to have coverage of internet, that's still, you got to put the equipment out there, you got to do all that, and that costs money. And that's the thing is, if you've got to have that coverage, it doesn't matter if you got 2 people or 200. If the coverage has to be there, then you still got to spend the money on the equipment. You know what I mean? So, so really, population's not a relevancy here.
No, and in fact, the more population there is, there's more likely that
the easier it is to do
you
it.
already have something
place like
that's
Roosevelt,
close. Yeah,
it's like you're going to spend $50 million for 12 people.
Well, there you go.
A little bit more, but you know what I mean. So
anyway, along with our meeting yesterday, we approved 2 agreements for legislative capital outlay. One was for $75,000 to be used for our health department in the planning phase. We're going along pretty good with our planning. We're doing pretty good. Also, the contract isn't out yet, but we were actually awarded $750,000 on a CDBG community development block grant for our health department. Again, our staff always looks, rather than use county money, no matter where it came from, we're always looking and say, how else can we find monies to build this so that we can save those
There's
monies
always a rock to turn over,
for
right?
emergencies, that we have no idea what may happen
Absolutely.
next week or tomorrow.
Sure.
So we're always trying, and they do a really great job. But the presentation, you had to put together the whole package, present it to the people for that federal funding for community development block grant. And Chaves County was awarded $750,000, which is the maximum amount towards that project.
Okay.
So that's $750,000 avoided out of some other monies that we can keep in the county for helping assist with things like the Joy Center and Tobosa, those things that we're required to do and we're required to do from now on. So
great.
So anyway, that $75,000 for that, $95,000 for another project. I believe it was for the Southeastern New Mexico Economic Development District, which is our COG, Dora Batista, Paul Pappas, that group, Hubert Quintana. They help all of us in our community, not just Chaves County, but Chaves County, City of Roswell, Dexter, Hagerman, Lake Arthur, Portales, Clovis. They help all of us in this part of the state acquire CDBG funding, legislative capital outlay.
They're the ones turning rocks over.
So they got some money to improve their facility there.
Great.
So, and we're glad to be a part of that.
Sure.
So we had a budget adjustment. We talk about that regularly, that we do those to make sure that our books stay right, and we continue to get these excellence awards.
Absolutely.
For our finance
Got to be
department.
tweaking and on top of it.
We also did our final disposition on our road hearings. As you know from the past, we do the preliminary. If you're changing the status of a road or asking the county to make a new road, we say, okay, we accept it in principle, but now you have to bring it up to county standards. You have to put the gravel on it, you have to build the bar ditches, whatever the criteria is. And it varies a little bit depending on where the road is and what kind of traffic it's going to get. But then we give them from the time when they actually approve it in theory in May, and we give them till December to bring it up to those standards. We go back out, make sure that the roads are right, and then we come in and say, okay, they did everything they were supposed to do. Let's go ahead and make this final, and then in January it'll be on our road.
Add to the list of regular maintenance for those roads.
And I've got a couple more things, but I don't know if we have time for all that. So
if you got about a minute or two, we can knock something out here.
Okay. We had 2 requests to advertise for public hearings. One of them was to amend the Chaves County zoning ordinance number 7.
Okay.
A portion of that's just kind of housekeeping. We need to clarify some language and change some descriptions and stuff, definitions. But a big part of it is we are adding a section in there about wind energy. Because, that's a brand new technology, brand new thing, and we have to be aware of what the potential downfalls could be of that.
Sure.
So we want to make sure that they're appropriately zoned. Certain things like, for instance, do you remember Burma Shave commercials?
Yes, absolutely.
The little signs everywhere. One of the concerns that I've had is when you have 100 wind towers between here and Timbuktu, what's stopping them from starting now to put advertising on them.
Sure.
And
where's the evolution of this going?
And so that was one of the things that we put in our ordinance is that there can be no advertising.
Can't be billboards.
Also,
and all that.
we don't want them to be bright pink. They need to blend with our landscape. So,
Sure.
we
Camouflage them as much as
these are kind of the
possible.
colors that are acceptable. No advertising on them. Also, I don't know about you, but I don't really like seeing those flashing lights all night long. Can you imagine if they were on Comanche Hill, for instance, and the lights just flashing all night? So we put in, there's a new technology called aircraft detection monitoring system, I think
Yes,
it
I know
is.
what you're talking about. Yeah.
And so the lights stay off unless an airplane flies within the range.
Gotcha.
They communicate,
But there's
and then the lights
sensors and
flash
things.
for a couple of minutes. When the airplane's gone, the lights go out, so you don't see them all night long.
It's basically smart lights.
And then the other thing that we think is very important is not just to say, well, they have to be so many miles from town.
Right.
Because if we do that, we say, well, no wind towers closer than 10 miles to Roswell. Where's that put them? Buena Vista. So we have to be considerate of our
neighbors,
residents throughout the county. And so, and that took a lot of doing to try to figure out how we did it. And I'm not sure exactly what we put in, but at one point, my suggestion was no closer than 10 miles from any place with a population density of greater than 50 people per square mile. So if you have average of 2 people in a household, 3 people, whatever the census information is, and you've got 10 households, and okay, if there's 3 and 10 households, that's 30 people. Okay, so you're okay there. But now if there's 15 houses there, then
we need to assess this.
Yeah, and it's 3.6 people or whatever. So
makes sense to me.
And that's not how he did it. But I mean, we put it in there to make sure that they're not next door.
Sure.
Subdivisions, there's a place for everything and everything
They just
in its
can't put 'em
place.
up wherever you want
You just
to.
can't put them wherever you want because it will impact the quality of life here within our community.
Absolutely.
And we're not against them by any means, but we just want them to follow certain
Sure,
rules.
we
So
don't
that
want
was an important thing. We also have a permission to publish for another hearing that will be in January. If it's a public hearing, we have to advertise that ahead of time so people
Part
come
of the
out and
rules.
say yes or no for it. And that's for a low-income tax rebate ordinance. It's never been passed, as far as I know, by any county in the state because there's so many problems with the way it's written. But in every odd year, we have to ask.
We do. This is the thing. Yeah, we've talked about this before. So it's the annual no.
Well, we'll present it and let people come out and say anything they
say
want.
their piece, and then we'll
move on.
But
anyway, thank you for having me in. I appreciate it.
Anytime.
Next month we will be having our county commission meeting 1 week later, so it'll be January the 26th.
So we'll see the fourth Friday instead of the third
Correct.
Friday. So very good.
And the reason for that is we have the legislative session. The New Mexico County's legislative session falls right during the week when we have our county commission meeting. So it'll be a week out. But
yeah, well, it's tis the season. That's always how it goes. But thank you as always. We appreciate the updates here. Merry Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas,
and your
Happy
family.
Hanukkah,
Yeah,
Happy Holidays, all that good
and
stuff.
Same with the entire the staff there at the county and the commission. Everybody, we appreciate all the hard work they're doing, and we look forward to see what 2023 brings.
Right.
Everybody.
And if you see Will Cavan on December the 31st, be sure and pat him on the back.
There you go.
Tell him Happy Will Cavan Day.
And if you happen to find one of his hats, wear it proudly that day.
Thank you, Mike.
Thanks, Bill. All right, it is.
County Sports Report got some boys basketball scores from over the weekend. The Goddard Rockets playing at home against Valencia, seeking their second victory, but it didn't happen. The visiting Jaguars defeated Goddard by a score of 44-43. Goddard's back in action at Alamogordo tomorrow night at 6 o'clock. Alamogordo is 3-3. Meanwhile, both Dexter and Hagerman were at the Smoky Bear tournament, and they kind of swapped opponents on Friday. Dexter lost on Friday to Eunice 58-42, but then bounced back to beat Reserve 64-40 on Saturday. For Hagerman, it was a victory over Reserve Friday night 52-39, but then falling to Eunice on Saturday 75-45. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander. Wall Street racked up more losses Friday as worries mounted that the Federal Reserve and other central banks are willing to bring on a recession if that's what it takes to crush inflation. The Biden administration said Friday it is buying 3 million barrels of oil to begin to replenish U.S. strategic reserves that officials drained earlier this year in a bid to stop gasoline prices from rising amid production cuts by OPEC and a ban on Russian oil imports. President Biden withdrew 180 million barrels from the strategic petroleum reserve starting in March, bringing the stockpile to its lowest level since the 1980s. Goldman Sachs is planning to cut thousands of employees in a difficult economic environment. The layoffs are the latest sign that cuts are accelerating across Wall Street. Investment banking revenues have plunged this year amid a slowdown in mergers and share offerings. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
Roswell Skin Center, a brand new state-of-the-art facility located in the 400 Penn Plaza building here in Roswell, is now accepting new patients. Dr. Brandon Cometti and his team offer a full range of skin care services, including general dermatology, surgical and cosmetic procedures, including cutting-edge laser rejuvenation, Botox, filler, laser hair removal, chemical peels, and other non-invasive options to improve skin health and turn back the hands of time. Call and schedule your appointment at Roswell Skin Center today, 208-2509. That's 208-2509.
If you suffer from pogonophobia, you would not want to attend a party with the following people: Kenny Rogers, Santa Claus, Willie Nelson, the cast of Duck Dynasty, and 2/3 of ZZ Top. Here's Mike Winters.
And we're closing in on 8 o'clock. Town Hall News is up next. We'll be back on the other side. You're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. The Democrats' House January 6th committee wrapping up its investigation of the U.S. Capitol riot. The panel members poised to recommend the Justice Department consider criminal charges against former President Trump, who, prior to the unrest, had urged a peaceful gathering at the U.S. Capitol. With Trump-era Title 42 restrictions on illegal immigration about to lapse on Wednesday, the border town of El Paso, Texas, declaring a state of emergency.
As we see the increase in asylum seekers into our community, and we see the temperatures dropping, and we know that Title 42 looks like it's going to be called back on Wednesday.
That's El Paso Mayor Oscar Leeser. Well, you can't say he didn't ask for it.
It was a simple tweet sent Sunday by Elon Musk. Should I step down as head of Twitter, I will abide by the results of this poll. More than half of 17.5 million users who responded to the poll voted yes by the time it closed Monday morning. Before the tweet, the billionaire acknowledged he made a mistake in launching new speech restrictions that banned mentions of rival social media websites. But there was so much criticism, Musk promised not to make any more major policy changes without a survey. The last tweet he sent Sunday: those who want power are the ones who least deserve it. I'm Julie Walker.
Heavy turbulence rocked a flight from Phoenix to Honolulu yesterday. 11 people seriously hurt in what one Hawaiian Airlines official calls an isolated, unusual event. It was a packed flight carrying 278 passengers and 10 crew members. On Wall Street, the Dow 4 points higher, the Nasdaq is down 84 points, and the S&P 12 points in the red. More on these stories at townhall.com.
First, we decide where we want to go. Then we need to know the best way to get there. Hi, my name's Adam Barada. I'm the owner of Advantage Gold. We're the highest rated precious metals firm in the country. We teach people how to own physical gold and silver. Now, we've won the Best of TrustLink Award 4 years in a row because we educate our clients on how to buy gold and silver the right way. We don't pay celebrity spokespeople millions of dollars. We'd rather pass that value on to you. Call 800-900-8000 and speak with one of our experts. We'll send you a free gold kit along with my latest #1 national best-selling book, The Great Devaluation. Call 800-900-8000. That's 800-900-8000. Get the best information, the best process, the best service, the best value. Call Advantage Gold at 800-900-8000. Call 800-900-8000.
Advantage Gold is not an investment advisor or a tax advisor. Consult with your financial advisor before investing.
Australia's Foreign Affairs Minister visiting China this week. The two countries at odds lately over the origins of COVID, as well as Chinese sanctions on Australian exports.
Relations between Australia and China have been in the deep freeze for several years. Beijing was accused of economic coercion, while claims of anti-China hysteria were made against Australia. Penny Wong's visit to Beijing is another sign that tensions are easing. She'll meet her Chinese counterpart Wang Yi. The foreign minister's visit will coincide with the 50th anniversary of diplomatic relations between the two countries. The Prime Minister Anthony Albanese said while Australia sought stability and cooperation with its biggest trading partner, there would also be disagreements.
The BBC's Phil Mercer. More than 24 Thai sailors missing. Rough seas in the Gulf of Thailand sank a warship. News and analysis, townhall.com. Well, it's time for another election. This time it's in the Old Dominion.
Virginia Republicans Saturday picked Leon Benjamin as their nominee for the February 21st special election to fill the 4th congressional district seat of the late Representative Donald McGeachin. McGeachin died last month at age 61 of what his staff said were complications from his long-running fight against colorectal cancer. Democrats are picking their nominee on Tuesday. Rhonda Rockster reporting.
The Union Pacific Railroad says it will stop imposing temporary limits on shipments while it reviews a policy that federal regulators and shippers criticized at a hearing held last week. Union Pacific has put more than 1,000 of these embargoes in place this year alone, part of its effort to clear up congestion that was hobbling the supply chain. Yet on Wall Street, the Dow down about 15 points. The Nasdaq is off 101 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel said, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2.
The deuce
of Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Monday. Less than a week before Christmas.
6 days away.
You've got a weekend left.
Yep.
And the rest of this week.
Now, I know that Monday after Christmas is the federal holiday.
Mm-hmm.
And technically, the 25th is Christmas Day.
Correct.
And that is also the day that we would receive our compensation. If our boss wants to be a real humbug about it, I was thinking about it. He could hold our pay until Tuesday.
Could. Be like a Christmas vacation.
Bet. Dude, the one thing I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
And I'm a man in my late 30s and still remember this. There was one Christmas that my dad gave me an IOU.
Okay.
I'm just trying to make sure I don't ever have to give my kids an IOU for Christmas.
I get you.
It was one of the worst things that of memories of my life.
I got you.
And it really messed with me. It's like I just don't want to give an IOU.
I think it'll be all right. Just my hunch. I think it'll be just fine.
Yeah, sure it'll be great. Looking forward to my jelly of the month for January.
You gotta stop watching Christmas Vacation.
Clark, that's the gift that keeps on giving.
I ain't gonna lie. I think I don't even like eggnog, but I kind of want to go buy, procure those Marty Moose mugs.
Yeah, they're out there. You can get them.
I'm sure I can.
Yeah. What's cool is they have the sets I've seen have the full blown mugs, and they also have little shot glasses.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
They got the whole ensemble.
In case you want to do nog shots. You want to be a real naughty nog.
Put that in your noggin. But so I did tease a story last time.
Yes.
And I do need to share with you now that I got a few minutes here. So Friday.
Where were you?
Where were you when the world started shaking? So
that December day.
So some of you may or may not have felt the little earthquake we had Friday afternoon. What was it, about 4:30 or something like that? It was in that ballpark. So I felt it. I go home, as I do at the end of a day of work, and I got home, and usually within 10 minutes of my getting home, I usually have a constitutional. I go to the bathroom.
Sure.
So I experienced the earthquake.
So when you said you too were moving,
I was.
You felt the earthquake. That's got to really change one's perspective.
That's a first for me. That was a first. I was having a movement while the movement happened.
That's got to make a man feel extra powerful, though, right?
It was weird, man.
When you're like, I just pooed hard enough to tear a hole in the Earth's crust.
It's like, boy, would you eat? No.
It's the colon blow commercial.
No. So here's what happened. I literally, I go to the back to the bathroom, and I just sit down. I literally just sit down, and I'm about to, grab the iPad to get ready.
Position.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden, it felt like someone grabbed the toilet and was pushing it back and forth, not side to side, but back and forth. Really? And I'm like, whoa. And then I look over, and my shower is right next to me, and I'm seeing it shift forward with me.
That's crazy.
And I'm like, whoa. And I'm feeling, and at first I'm like, what? First I said, who's moving the toilet? Then it dawned on me. Oh. And then my wife didn't feel it. She was in the living room in her chair watching TV on her phone or whatever.
Right.
And then about 5 minutes later, my wife comes, did you feel that earthquake? And I was like, funny you should mention that. And
as a matter of fact.
I was right. She goes, yeah, I was seeing online. It was a 5 point whatever. I said, I felt it move. I felt the earth move under my tail.
Keister. Yeah. Did it cause any kind of a slosh situation?
I don't know. No, it wasn't that violent.
Okay.
But it was enough it just felt like someone was taking the toilet and just pushing it back and forth. And I'm sitting there going hey, using this.
Stop. Knock it off. I was up in my kitchen. I was in the process of preparing dinner.
Yeah.
And so I think just because I was moving around, walking around and stuff.
You didn't notice?
I didn't feel or notice it.
I think the fact that I was sitting on a device that was anchored to the ground probably enhanced the reason I felt it. But yeah, it was wild, man.
That's odd though. Two in just a couple of months.
Well, that's I think 3. I think.
Did you have a third?
I think there was one in there that I didn't feel that other people did. I want to say there was. So, but anyway, yeah.
Huh.
So I did feel that one, but that's the first time I've ever can say I felt an earthquake while on the throne.
That's the one time when you see all those drivers out there with the California plates where they actually are in control. We're like, what's happening? They're like, y'all, chill. Act like you've been here before.
That's right. We haven't.
We never have. It's a new party.
Yeah. So anyway, so that was a new experience.
That is a heck of a time to experience a movement.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was. I feel like I was just like, really, of all places, this is where it happens. I guess there could be worse places, like when you get a haircut.
Oh God. Surgery.
Yeah, surgery. Yeah,
anything involving lasers.
Yeah. Any of those times. But
the dudes who are drawing lines on the highway.
So it's not the worst place to maybe be in an earthquake, but not top 5 places I want to be hanging out when an earthquake occurs.
Right.
So
tightrope walking.
Yeah.
Could you imagine if there was an earthquake while the Wallendas were doing their thing?
Oh, that would be bad.
Although they've probably prepped for something like that.
I don't know. I have no idea. How does one prep to walk across a rope across
I would think
a canyon?
If you're starting to shake or something like that.
Yeah.
Isn't there a move where you can drop down and spider your way back?
I'm sure they have in case of tactics that they use, but depends on how hard they're shaking that rope.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. But anyway, yes, I did. That happened to me, so that's a first.
You made it through.
Add that to the bucket list of things. It was a busy. I played Santa first time ever, and now I've been in an earthquake while on the throne.
2022 will forever be the year that Mike pooped during an earthquake.
Hashtag life goals.
Hashtag it do be like that sometimes.
Oh, man. Let me give you the rundown for this hour of the show. All right, we'll get you up to date with the weather here in just a few minutes. Then we're going to play our interview last Wednesday. We had the folks from the Chaves County Federated Republican Women join us to give us an update on what they've got going on, invite folks out to their next meeting. So we'll play that interview for you here in just a bit. Mm-hmm. Later on, we'll get you up to date with the news of the local variety, along with your Wall Street business update and whatever else we can come up with for this hour of the show.
Indeed.
All right, it is 8:14. Let's go ahead and take a look at your weather. Enjoy today, because the rest of the week will not be like it.
Mm-hmm.
So enjoy it while you got it.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We have much colder temperatures on the way by the end of the week with an Arctic air mass headed our way. Pretty mild today, though. Our high going up to 60, a little bit breezy and lots of sun. Clear for the overnight hours in mid-20s, and then we're in the low 50s with some cloud cover moving back in on Tuesday. Back to sunshine on Wednesday in mid-50s, 30s for the high on Thursday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 24 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 88%. Winds variable at 3 miles per hour. Sunny today and 62. A mild, pleasant day. Winds will be out of the northwest, 5 to 10 this morning, 10 to 15. So a little breezy this afternoon. Clear skies tonight. Overnight low of 26 degrees with north winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tuesday, mostly sunny, 54 for a high. Winds out of the northeast, 5 to 10. Tomorrow night, mostly clear, overnight low of 28 degrees, south winds at around 5 miles per hour. Looking at the rest of the week, Wednesday, another day of fair temperatures, 55, mostly sunny, south winds 5 to 10. Thursday starts cooling, and then it gets downright cold. Thursday, we're only getting into the upper 40s, or lower 40s, I'm sorry, 41 and sunny on Thursday. Thursday night, overnight low of 7. Under mostly clear skies. And for Friday, our high not even getting to the 30s, 25 for a high on Friday. No talk of moisture during this time as of right now. Thank God. I don't know if we want moisture when it's 25 out. But anyway, and then looking at the Christmas weekend, Christmas Eve Saturday, sunny and 41. Christmas Day on Sunday, sunny and 49. All right, it is 16 minutes after 8 o'clock. We're going to take a 3-minute break, and then we'll play our interview we had with the Chaves County Federated Republican Women. That's up next. Don't go away.
Here's Chip Davis, founder of Mannheim Steamroller, with today's Christmas Countdown.
Each Christmas, there are certain traditions that we just do. We never question why, we just do them. Mistletoe and holly are two of these. Both are holdovers from ancient pagan winter celebrations. In England, mistletoe was linked to a druid goddess named Frigga, a goddess of love. Meanwhile, the ancient Romans celebrated for 7 days in December, honoring Saturn, their god of agriculture. Holly was the main decoration, along with candles, and even a gift exchange. But remember, no matter what the origins, Christmas is what you make it to be. And it's only 6 days away. And I'm Chip Davis of Mannheim Steamroller.
Brought to you by Commando.com, your trusted source for the latest news on everything digital. Get free newsletters with daily tech tips at Commando.com/subscribe.
Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays from all of us at Roswell Nissan. This is Mikey Reeves, General Manager at Roswell Nissan.
As we gather with friends and family and celebrate the season, we want to thank you, our friends and neighbors, folks in our community that trust the Roswell Nissan family to be part of yours. Thank you for putting your trust and confidence in us at Roswell Nissan. It's because of that trust that we continue to provide the best in sales and service. Merry Christmas, and here's to a great 2023 from your friends at Roswell Nissan.
Make your home a smart home with smart home Wi-Fi from Plateau. Now you can connect more devices to fast, reliable Wi-Fi throughout your home. That means faster speeds with no downtime or lag. Enhance your connection, expand your reach, and experience whole home device control and protection with Plateau. Plateau offers true fiber with options starting as low as $60 a month, all with no caps and no hidden fees. Call today 575-755-1000 or stop by 1001 South Main in Roswell. Get smart home Wi-Fi today from Plateau. Try true, trusted.
Hi, I'm Dr. Keon at Carabelli Dental. Same-day smiles are what we do. My passion is helping patients chew, talk, and live with confidence. That's why I'm one of the few doctors in the U.S. who can create beautiful same-day smiles with the latest digital implant technology. This procedure is life-changing. Just ask Sean.
Hi, I'm Sean. I've been that voice that you've heard on the radio for most of my life, but I'm also a dad to 2 amazing kids. I've had a million reasons to smile, but in all my old pictures, I was never smiling. Truth is that life of improper care and being dealt a bad hand genetically left me practically with no teeth. It affected everything from the way I ate, the way I talked, and of course how I interacted with people. And that's where Dr. Keon and Carabelli stepped in. They eased my fears. They explained every step of the process in a way that I could understand, and they made me feel almost like I was part of the team. And now I can't stop smiling. I have so much more confidence, and I love looking in the mirror now. I can't explain how much of a difference Dr. Keon's dental implant process made for me.
Our team can help you find your smile too. Come see us at Carabelli Dental, 575-622-4455.
Mulan has the highest kill count of any Disney character. When asked for comment, Buzz Lightyear responded, "To infinity and beyond." Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 24 minutes after 7 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning from the Chaves County Federated Republican Women, Janine Cornbest and Margaret Kinnard back with us. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning, Mike.
Good morning.
How's well, I haven't seen you since Thanksgiving, so how was Thanksgiving?
It went well. So we didn't come last month.
That's
we didn't
right.
make
You guys missed last
It was
month.
the day after the election.
That's right.
And it was
so it was kind of
crazy.
That's right. So I haven't seen you in 2 months.
Yep.
So how was Thanksgiving? We'll go back there and then we'll get into after.
Fine. Our whole family had the flu.
So
Essentially.
y'all sick.
Mine was.
That's one way to get out of cooking.
Yeah, mine was no kids in the mountains, football and food.
Okay. So quiet and nice.
Quiet and nice.
Victory there.
I'm past the age of children.
Well, are you at a point where you have to do things, or can you just show up at people's houses and?
No, I can come to houses and say hello and goodbye. And
Good.
I have no grandkids. So
Good. Nice.
I just now got my oldest one married off.
Okay.
So
is this one getting to work here on providing?
No,
grandkids?
she's in California with her husband, and he is an electrical contractor. They put up the great big metal
Okay.
helicopter down. Yeah.
So they're busy.
Yeah. They said
okay.
they're banking. Now, kids' words of banking, I don't know what that means.
I think it means you're going to be a grandmother, but not for a while.
I don't even take care of your dogs.
Well, I guess for folks that aren't familiar, we talk with these ladies every month, but the Chaves County Federated Republican Women, during the election cycle, their primary focus is on, presenting all the Republican candidates throughout the state and educating the public on those candidates. Well, now that in between election seasons, the shift kind of, they're always still educating and going out and doing things for the Republican Party, but your guys' attention kind of shifts on more the service organization
Correct.
side, working for scholarships for youth and various pet projects that the Federated Republican Women. So is that kind of where you guys are at now? Now that the election's over, kind of shifting gears to the service side of the Federated Republican Women?
So this month, we're going to have a representative from the Republican Party of New Mexico come and speak. So for those that don't know, the Republicans just elected Steve Pierce back as chairman.
Re-elected him as the
Mhm.
chair for the Republican Party for the state of New Mexico.
Yes. And so we had, there were several candidates, I believe there were 5. We had spoken to each of them, and they all agreed if they were to win, they would come and attend our meeting and you know, the elected candidate. And so Steve, however, he is out of town, so he's not going to be able to be here. But we do have one of his executive board members who will be attending, and her name is Maricela, Spinelli. Trujillo Spinelli is going to be here. She's the secretary.
I can see why that didn't just roll off the tongue.
I've slept since I last
saw a lot of names.
Yes. So she'll be down to speak.
Okay.
That's going to be our next meeting, so for those that don't know, every third Wednesday is our monthly luncheon at the Civic Center.
And you're invited to come and enjoy lunch and hear the speakers and of course talk with people before and afterwards about, everything.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And we're going to have a little bit of Christmas entertainment, so we'll have some carols, Christmas carolers.
Okay.
And then also we're going to be hearing from former City Manager Joe Nebb. We're going to recognize him, and he'll have a few minutes to speak.
Okay.
And so it's going to be a full program as usual.
Yeah.
And we also are transitioning into a new term of officers. So we are going to be electing the next president.
So it's the business side of it. And
a little bit of business and a little bit of Christmas.
Sure.
So I will not be seeking another term.
Okay.
As my life is a little bit full right now, and this is a big job.
Yeah, she keeps having kids, so she has to keep raising a family.
She hadn't figured that one out.
Where Janine's got lots of free time.
Exactly.
Margaret, on the other.
Right. So Janine's staying, and I will stay on the board, but it's not as big of a role.
Right. You're just gonna come on Wednesday, eat lunch, and be part of the group.
I'll go to the board meeting. No, but anyway, I'll still stay on, and I have a chair position I'm actually
They'll
working
keep you busy
now.
regardless.
Yeah.
They'll find something.
So we are always in need of volunteers. Most of us wear several different hats.
Sure.
You know how that goes when
well,
you're
obviously,
involved
I mean, both of you are serving or have served on city council and 20 other different other civic organizations and things that you guys are involved with.
Yeah.
So it's generally every member of the Chaves County Federated Republican Women, which, by the way, you don't have to be just a woman to be a part of the Chaves County Federated. They have would serve as an associate auxiliary something, and that's where our male counterparts can serve there. But
but within our organization, we're always needing more help.
Yeah,
because
so,
Janine does several things, and I have several things I'm responsible for that we could, ideally hand over to somebody else to help us with, so that we're not overwhelmed.
Well, and I would imagine too, because obviously after the election results here, many Republicans are not happy with the results of what happened in this past election. So what are you going to do about it? That's my point is, okay, you're unhappy. Fine. Well, are you just going to sit around and wait for the next election and see who you get to vote for then? Or are you going to be actively involved in doing something about that process?
Correct.
So I would offer to you, if you're looking for an avenue to do something about that, maybe the Chaves County Federated Republican Women could be that resource or that avenue for you to do that.
Right.
So,
well, and Chaves County always turns out, we always get a good, we are always red in Chaves County. However, there always is room for improvement. And, I don't know about you guys, but I'm doing my part. I'm creating children.
Sure.
And trying to teach them.
I think she's taking a shot at you doing it. Where's your
I'm trying to up our percentages, okay? But,
we're going to beat them by strength of numbers. Look how we keep making kids. That's not a bad strategy.
Well, so we need your kids to have kids and my kids to have kids. And,
I get what you're saying. Yeah. You're raising the next generation here, but we do. And all the joking aside, if you hate what's going on, then you need to roll up your sleeves and do something about it.
Stop the social media stuff.
That stuff, and I get it. It's fun.
And I'm going to poke back. Hey, That's just my nature.
In case you have not seen Janine on social media, she does not shy about chiming in.
I have nothing to lose, right?
But and I'm all for good discussion. It's a great forum to actually. The problem is
good discussion.
Yes, the
not
problem
wasting words.
I don't believe humanity's smart enough to handle it. And that's unfortunately the more I live, the more evidence I confirms that for me.
Exactly.
So, but that doesn't mean we throw the baby out with the bathwater. You just got to be smart and be wise on what you intake and what you put out on social media, and realize that it may not be the be-all, end-all authoritative information that you think it is or you hope it to be.
Correct.
So, but if you go in with that mindset, it's good. But like I said, you got to get involved. And if you're one of those social media warriors that sit all day, doing that, then maybe cut a couple hours of that out of your day and devote that to something.
We've got a lot of letter addressing and stuff like that you can do from home. If you don't want to show up, then we'll come to you.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with that.
And this is something that all New Mexicans, I don't care if you're conservative or liberal, I don't know why we don't learn this lesson. You can't keep doing the same thing year after year and expect different results. There's no sound logic in any of that. So if you don't like that,
but when you get the results, open your eyes and realize it.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
They're not opening their eyes and realizing that the results were there.
Exactly. So my point is, get involved.
Amen.
Pick your passions and get involved with it. Whether it's with the Chaves County Federated Republican Women, or you're like, you know what, I'm going to start my own candidacy for maybe city council or mayor.
And we do a lot of other things.
Whatever.
Yeah, we do a lot of other things than that. We take gifts over to the Assurance Home and make sure dictionaries go to the middle schools south. We had a luncheon for the veterans in...
A lot of it has nothing to do with politics.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And we just keep going on, among other things.
Yeah. And what I love, too, is the youth side, where you guys are working with high school age students.
Correct.
And getting them into the self-awareness of the world and how it's going to work when, in a few years, they're the ones making the decisions. But then with scholarships, everything else, you're like, all right, not only are we kind of helping you kind of learn the way of the world, but we're going to provide you an opportunity to create your own foundation in it. And that's at the end of the day what civic organizations are so great, because they're fostering the future of our community.
And that's kind of what we're focusing on this year.
Mm-hmm.
This is outside of the election year. In the off year, we have our Cowboy Prom fundraiser. And that
September
helps us.
16th.
Yes, and that helps us save the date.
Save the date.
We've already got the venue and all of that.
Everything's ready except for just got to have the actual event.
Well, we're thinking of one in March too, and hopefully it's going to be a fish broil, a crawfish broil.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if anybody's had that. Let's see. They have
I've heard fish fries.
Mardi Gras.
Yeah.
They have that with one. I think the Assumption Catholic Church.
Oh yeah.
But this is just going to be a fish broil and kind of a midterm, just for fun, just a cabin fever type deal.
Good out and get together and enjoy some crawdads, and are people in this area familiar with cooking them?
Well, so it's going to be at the Civic Center, and we have
the two chefs there
chef. One of the chefs is
they got a little Creole in them.
Yeah, Louisiana.
Oh, he's got. So he was born with a crawfish in his mouth.
Exactly.
I got you. He comes out saying, "Ooh, Dad."
So we'll have more.
And we're not sure on that one.
We'll have more information.
Okay, more to come in, but that'll be in the spring or late winter there. So
thought. I'm the fundraiser chair, so that was a thought.
Well, and we're at that point where we're now saying, hey, if you're wanting to come and be involved, these are some of the things we've got planned here in the next several months.
Yeah.
And obviously, at the same time, you kind of you're also plugged into the tea leaves of the state and the party, and you're like, okay, well, what is the Republican Party going to do here next election cycle? Well, now you can kind of see that evolution happen in real time a little bit here. So, and then of course,
there's so many ways someone can get involved. Coming to our meetings, that's just like the first level, but there's so many things that people can do, more in depth with us, and Also the Republican Party of Chaves County. I know that we're closing up headquarters this month, or we did, but we're still going to have monthly meetings. Generally, that's, I think in the past 2 years, it's been at the Liberty.
You guys get lean during the non-election cycle, and
yes.
then kind of fatten up at the time of the election season. That's if things are going on. It's just the temp people kind of go back to their lives, and the core kind of keep doing the charity work. And,
correct.
And then with the actual party politics, grooming and getting the next candidates for the next election cycle here. Yeah. So.
And if you want to be a candidate, you can be.
I encourage it.
Just step right up, and we'll help you and direct you where you need to go to be a candidate.
Absolutely. And now, obviously, when it comes to partisan politics, it's county on up for the.
Correct.
So everything city level is nonpartisan. So that doesn't mean you can't be involved with. Right. That doesn't mean you can't be involved with, but per se, they don't officially get involved in those elections. But,
right.
But when it comes to county commissioner on up, it's all. You have to be registered with a party or not with a party, but it's partisan politics.
Correct.
So, but and that's I think state level is at really the level where you can do state representatives and things. That we got some good ones here and things like that. But grooming. I'm not gonna lie. The people we have representing us aren't going to be doing this forever.
Correct.
At some point, they're gonna wash their hands of this garbage and go back to their lives. And we need the next generation of people to keep that fight going and hopefully spread it. I say this 100 times on this show. Yes, I lean conservative in my own personal life. I just want to get this state back to the middle. I just want it to where there's actual checks and balances, actual debate, actual, hearing of both sides of an argument on something. We've lost all of that because there's nobody of any kind of power to put up any resistance because we've been liberal since. I say this, go to Lincoln County and read all the signs in the town of Lincoln. When you go through and you read all the Billy the Kid stuff, just read the signs. And it talks about the government dealings and who begat this and where this came from. And it's a complete S show. It is complete garbage. And the state has been doing that long before. And it's just the history. Follow the history. And then you can understand. Once you do that, you're like, no wonder this place is such a garbage show every year. And so we got to change that. And how do you change it? By grassroots. You start going in, start getting more people that like-minded to start running for our state legislature. We got governor and they're doing that. State legislator's done all kinds of damage. That's where you need to do your fixing. We need to get it back to the middle. At least have it so there's a conservative voice that's got a little teeth.
And you have to have the passion. Mm-hmm. And I kind of believe in term limits because some have been there long enough.
I very much believe in
it. It needs to be done.
Personally, if I was, and this is me getting on a soapbox, but if I ended up being president or in charge one day, first thing I'd do is go into Congress and say, you will put term limits, and if you're not for that, then I'm going to fight it on. And then I would go into committees, how they select committees, who gets to select who gets in the committees, and all of that would be called to the carpet because that's where the real damage is done.
Correct. We don't need kings.
Yeah.
Or queens.
Yeah, exactly. So, and all that goes on under the nose of the public.
And it's all about the citizens, and that's what's not being understood. It's the citizens. It's not your profit. It's not your pocket. It's not your business. It is the citizens and the citizens of the state or the town that that's why you volunteer and why you do this.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that should be why you do things.
Yeah.
Correct.
Well, exactly. And we need to remind everybody of that because let's be honest, we live in a world where, especially young people, they're going to assume differently because that's not what the world looks like.
Well, and I think that's one of the problems that we face is with trying to get young people involved because when you are dealing. And there's something to be said about continuity. I totally believe that. So, but 30 years is too much.
I've heard that experience argument, and I go back and I say, experience in what?
Right.
Experience in doing the shenanigans and to learn the shenanigans that y'all have been doing. No. Congress in whether it's state or federal level, is not designed to be a bunch of people that have spent their whole life in public office.
Correct.
It's just not. You're supposed to take your life experience and expertise and bring it to Congress and use that to rule. And that's why when we talk about committees and then, the Energy Committee and so, whoever's back you scratch, you get on. No, it should, states that are predominant energy producing states, their representatives should be the ones sitting on those committees, in my opinion. You know,
I agree.
Not based on how many years you've been in Congress or who's in power and who butters up to the speaker better.
Yes.
And that's how it works now.
Yes.
And this is both sides that do this. It's not just one or the other. This is something that both parties are very, very active participants in, and we gotta correct that. That creates
you have
more damage.
To start at home.
Yeah.
Everything starts at home, and that's where we're falling down in our generation.
Yeah.
Well, that's how we say that. I think I've said this before here.
I've said it 100 times, so yeah, probably.
But
it's okay.
you have a more mature generation, the older generation saying young kids or the younger generations don't get involved. They're whatever, and that's true to an extent. But I mean,
they're involved. They don't
let them get involved.
Yeah.
They don't let them get involved.
Sure.
Well, and that's then you
don't know what you're talking about.
Right.
Sit in the corner and
so
color.
you have, I've seen it even here locally, where you have younger candidates and they're basically said, it's not your turn.
You're discredited a little bit.
Yeah.
Wait till, let the adults
Wait
handle
your
it
turn.
and we'll groom you up. And,
so then who wants to get involved when you're not, number one, taken seriously or, considered relevant or considered,
Sure.
So here we are. We have I'm actually one of the younger ones involved in things, and I'm not young at all. And
You're pretty young. Younger than me. I'm going to call you.
I would say, isn't 40 and above middle aged? I mean, I'm not that young.
Yeah.
And so
40 is a lot younger than it used to be, mentally.
Yeah,
I'm 40 and I'm a soup sandwich up there. I'm a mental basket case. So I'm almost 50.
I got you both beat.
Yeah.
So we have this dilemma, and so
I don't think you're old.
Well, and they're from the outside. You look in and you see the ones that are whipped and flogged and thrown under the bus, and you're like, why do I want to?
Go through that gauntlet? Right?
I could just retire and go through my life and ignore the whole thing. Why do I want to go through that?
And people are counting on that. I think people are like, if I make it such a pain in the butt, people wash their hands of it, and then I do what I want.
But then we care for the city. Been here my whole life, same house.
And that's the point I always like to make. Yes, we all disagree on stuff, and especially at the city level. Here we all disagree, and yes, it's the most partisan, nonpartisan stuff I've ever heard. But
yeah, exactly.
But at the same time, we all want a good community, I think. You know what I mean? And I think, we all disagree on what that means per se and things. And I just, if we all remember, okay, at the end of the day, we all here because we care about this community, and we can put aside the petty garbage and the personality issues that happen, be adults about things, and let's figure it out. Now, okay, don't go to a Christmas party together. Fine.
Yeah.
But when it comes to sitting at a council meeting or whatever meeting that's happening, you act like an adult and do adult things.
If you say so.
Okay, don't have a beer afterwards at the bar, fine. Y'all don't want to shake hands after, fine. But we're going to talk because people put you here to do that.
Correct.
You know what I mean? And that's and at the end of the day, and this is something Americans have to remember, every person you elect into office works for you.
Amen.
You don't put them on pedestals and yes, they are in positions of leadership, and God, I hope they do what they're supposed to do with that. But having power and without leadership is a bad problem.
Amen.
And I've taken enough leadership Roswell classes that I kind of figured that one out before then. I picked that little nugget up before then. But that's without that, and so you've got to have that leadership, and if someone is just there for the power trip and not, you know what I mean?
Exactly. I know exactly what you mean.
And unfortunately, the lower the level, the easier that, because let's face it, at the city level, and it's a good thing, they're not professional politicians per
Correct.
se. They're people that run they're your church pastors. They're the guy that runs the hardware store. You know what I mean?
You would hope so.
Yeah, and as it should be. And so with that comes a bit of, all right, we're not up on our Robert's rules here, or we're not, but at the same time, that doesn't mean, all right, you're either on my team or I'm going to kill you.
Yeah.
And that's the mindset we're in now.
Yes.
Well, it's sad, but I know we're totally off of what the Republican women do, but
we do.
Just looking out
no,
there.
On this show, we got off topic. What happened?
Politically, you see it a lot with the like the liberal side of things, canceling this cancel culture. But here, locally, it's also that way.
It is. I can see what you're talking about. Absolutely.
It goes both ways. And so that's sad to me.
And to be on the end of the day, that's why I do this show. And I don't care how wackadoo you are, I will give you a fair shot on here.
Yes,
and
you're very fair about that.
And because at the end of the day, my job is to give people the information, let you figure out what you think's good and what you think.
Exactly.
I will be happy to tell you my opinion.
Yeah.
I have them, but at the end of the day, you do you.
Yeah.
And I just want to give you the information.
And that's what makes America.
Exactly. That's exactly
what
my
makes the
point.
melting pot of the
So
world.
I don't care how wackadoo you are. Don't be scared to come on my show. I will be nice and treat you well. Will I make fun of you probably over it?
Sure.
I make no promises, but I will give you a fair shake on this show.
There you go. There you go.
But come out to the next meeting
Yes.
for the Chaves County Federal Republic. It'll be next Wednesday.
Correct.
1 week from today at the Roswell Convention and Civic Center. About
Our doors open at 11:30.
11:30.
If you want a meal, it's $16.
What's do you know the menu for?
It's a
Ham.
traditional Christmas
Okay.
ham.
Okay, going
taters.
ham,
Yeah.
ham and
ham, taters,
pie,
some kind of green bean situation or some kind of green thing.
some kind of vegetable.
Yeah.
Some kind of cranberry thing.
Exactly. That's always my deal as a menu, and after 12 months, it's hard to come up with something.
All right. Well, yeah, you gotta.
Yeah.
And Christmas too, and you want turkey and ham.
But turkey's expensive.
And let's face it, by the time Christmas rolls around, you're kind of turkeyed out. You're kind of like,
Exactly.
dude, let's do Mexican food.
Yeah, exactly. I'll remember that next year.
Yeah, I don't know. A couple Christmases we did what we called Mexican pile on. Everyone brings a Mexican dish, and we had enchiladas and burritos and tacos
There you
and Lord, everything Mexican. It was delightful.
There you go.
So, but come out to the next meeting and come, like you said, you're going to meet some of the leadership of the Republican Party in New Mexico.
Correct.
The new leadership, or
rehash.
Yeah, the 2023 leadership of
And
the
you'll meet
Republican.
our new board.
Yeah, and come
Yeah.
in, and then because you're going to make the new board
We're gonna
or make the new
board.
officers and everything here. So, obviously, maybe first crack they're not going to make you an officer, but if you want to come and be a part of
Yes.
it, come out to next Wednesday. Come volunteer, talk to any of the Chaves County Federated Republican women. Like I said, the male counterparts, typically spouses, but doesn't have to be, can serve as well as part of it. You haven't it now. Do they have their own meetings and everything, or are they all just part of the?
No.
I know, like sometimes with auxiliaries and things, they'll have like their own little meetings and own agendas and things, but they all kind of just work together with it.
I make my husband sign up, right? But
No.
like our elected officials, the male elected officials, they are, they want to be a member.
Gotcha. Well, I'm saying they all want. I just didn't know if they kind of ran their own show, meetings and things.
No,
if they did it.
they kind of come and go.
Okay.
Sometimes we'll give them a responsibility,
Gotcha.
but other than that, no, not really.
I didn't know if you have an event and they say, okay, the auxiliary's going to be in charge of.
No, that's a good idea.
Of seats or whatever.
We're so used to working ourselves to death.
Gotcha. Yeah, delegation.
It's just easier to do it yourself.
Well, and I get it, because most of you are like, I give my husband a task, and he does the bare minimum to get it done. And I know, I know what you guys are really like. Trust me, some guys are like, I do it half, but I half attempt it for a reason, so they won't ask me to do it again.
Is that really?
It's a two-way street. Oh yeah, I mean they won't admit it. Like you all won't admit what you're doing. We won't admit either. We know.
I don't know what we're doing.
We know. So.
We're one of the strongest federated women in New Mexico. We have, I believe, we have the largest membership.
I'd say maybe the only other area that might give you a run is probably Four Corners, maybe.
It's Farmington. We're always at friendly competition with Farmington to have the most members.
Well, and if you look at the kind of the map makeup there, that makes sense. As far as where conservatives generally reside and liberals do in the state of New Mexico.
Map is a dirty word at this point.
Yeah, which by the way, I mean, there's probably more to come on that one. I know with the lawsuits and all that, what comes of it is still to come, but it's not dead yet.
Correct.
For people that are wondering about that.
Correct.
So, but anyway, come out to the next meeting.
Yes.
You can always go to the Chaves County Federated Republican Women Facebook page.
Correct.
If you have questions or want more information, or if you lost some of the information between our ramblings and things here, you can go back and find everything there as well.
We also are in the RDR for our luncheon, so there's a number there.
Okay,
and,
so they got,
don't ever hesitate to call us. I'm friendlier than most people say, so it's okay.
She's very friendly.
I don't
lady.
bite. I'm kind of like an onion, so I scare people. But Margaret's gotten used to me after all these years.
Well, and it's just, I get it, because I understand it. I it's at some point, when are you gonna? All right, I want to listen to your opinion. I want to hear what you say, but at some point, you're like, is there any fact based in anything you just said, or you just spewing crap out of your mouth? You know?
Exactly.
I get it, and at some point, you just like, how much more do I got to deal with this before I get this be rude? I get it. But please come out to the meeting, get involved, roll up your sleeves. If you're tired of what you're seeing in Mexico, the only way you're going to make a difference is do your part.
And this is the year that we find our to be elected people that want to come up and fundraise for our scholarship. Plus, we also help out the Assurance Home. We
actually are going over
cards
tomorrow
to soldiers. Yeah,
tomorrow we drop off stuff at the Assurance Home.
That place isn't. I love that. It's such a different world
it's
than
a
Roswell.
savior.
Yeah,
it's a savior.
It doesn't
for those
even look
babies.
like Roswell.
No.
Nothing about it reminds you of. I mean,
it's
not in a bad way, in what I mean, but it's like a whole different planet.
And they're
there.
teaching them what they need to learn that they should have learned at home, but they weren't able to with the animals and the responsibility.
Sure, it's and let's face it, some people don't learn the same way.
Correct.
And what's considered tried and traditional now may not check all the boxes for some people, and so things like the Assurance Home and other organizations that do things very similar, even your Job Corps and the stuff out by the base and all that. Youth Challenge, that's the name it wouldn't come to my head there. They do such great work providing an alternate way for these students to kind of get it, how life works,
And we would love to add more to our list.
Yeah.
If somebody has a thought, call us. We'll talk it over with you and
absolutely
add it to our list. And
that's the whole point.
But our speakers are great this week, this coming week.
Good deal. Yeah, and so come out 11:30 next Wednesday, 1 week from today, at the Convention and Civic Center. What's the best way to RSVP? Through the Facebook or
you can do it through Facebook, but email's pretty. We have an email set up just for
RSVPs.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And it is. I always mess this up. Sorry.
RSVP
CCFRW at Gmail.
I can see why you
So
screwed that up.
RSVP. First initial of everything.
Gotcha. So just if you remember that, then you go. And if you don't, go to the Facebook page and it should be there.
And if we have an extra meal, we'll sell it to you.
Yeah. If all fairness, if you want to eat, please RSVP.
Mm-hmm.
That way you can give the chefs a heads up and you don't short anybody.
We usually have a couple plates left over, or some of us won't eat.
Yeah.
I mean, we wait until everybody's seated.
Of course, there might be a few people like, no more ham, please.
Yeah.
I'll just but yeah, please. But if you do, like you said, if you space out next Wednesday, and you're like, oh man, that's today.
It doesn't matter.
Come on out. Come be a part of the meeting and come.
We have a lot that just come and sit and listen to the speakers.
Well, that's
and just have fun with the rest of the folks.
That's good
catch up.
reason for having it at the convention center. There's plenty of room for people to come and hear what has to be said and all.
And it's centrally located.
Yeah.
That's our major
Everyone
thing.
knows
it's
where
centrally located.
You don't have to give directions to the convention center. It's like at the convention. Oh, okay, I know where the convention.
Exactly.
Very good. Well, thank you, ladies.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you, Mike, for having us.
Anytime, Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. If I don't see you again in 2022 here in the studio, and if not, we'll see you in 2023.
Yes, sir.
Talking all about what's on the horizon for the Federated Women in 2023 here. So good deal.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, 7:57. Commercial break to pay bills and pay for my lunch. Then new.
Now for your Pecos Valley News Update, I'm Jared Cirillo. A local teenager was arrested earlier this month and charged with robbery for a violent incident that took place a few days earlier in southeast Roswell, leaving a 76-year-old woman with injuries. The investigation by Roswell police identified 17-year-old Roy Armstrong as the person who attacked the woman as she was taking a walk near Jackson Drive and East Wildey Street at about 7:30 that morning. The woman had come to a nearby food bank that was not yet open for the day, so she decided to take a walk to pass the time until it opened, police said. And Artesia police are asking for your help in finding a missing teen girl, 15-year-old Chloe Samora. The girl is about 5 feet 4 inches tall and weighs 175 pounds. Chloe Samora was last seen at her home in the 800 block of Richardson Street in Artesia, but police say she left through her bedroom window at about 1:30 that morning, December 18th, and has not been seen since. If you know anything, please call Artesia Police. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We have much colder temperatures on the way by the end of the week with an Arctic air mass headed our way. Pretty mild today, though. Our high going up to 60, a little bit breezy and lots of sun. Clear for the overnight hours in mid-20s, and then we're in the low 50s with some cloud cover moving back in on Tuesday. Back to sunshine on Wednesday in mid-50s, 30s for the high on Thursday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander. Wall Street racked up more losses Friday as worries mounted that the Federal Reserve and other central banks are willing to bring on a recession if that's what it takes to crush inflation. The Biden administration said Friday it is buying 3 million barrels of oil to begin to replenish U.S. strategic reserves that officials drained earlier this year in a bid to stop gasoline prices from rising amid production cuts by OPEC and a ban on Russian oil imports. President Biden withdrew 180 million barrels from the strategic petroleum reserve starting in March, bringing the stockpile to its lowest level since the 1980s. Goldman Sachs is planning to cut thousands of employees in a difficult economic environment. The layoffs are the latest sign that cuts are accelerating across Wall Street. Investment banking revenues have plunged this year amid a slowdown in mergers and share offerings. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
9 of 10 people with pre-diabetes don't even know they have it. Left untreated, diabetes can lead to other health complications including heart disease, stroke, and liver disease. Don't put off your care any longer. Artesia General Hospital's Diabetes Care Team can help you make a personalized plan to manage diabetes or pre-diabetes and reclaim your health. Learn more or request an appointment at artesiageneral.com/diabetes.
If you need a Kubota that works and plays hard, stop looking. You'll find everything you need at Amigo Machinery. When it comes to tough Kubota tractors, mowers, construction equipment, and utility vehicles, all with low-rate financing, Amigo Machinery is your one-stop shop. We are passionately committed to providing our customers with the highest quality products, most innovative solutions, and services delivered with integrity and professionalism. Stop by Amigo Machinery in Roswell or see us online at amigo-machinery.com.
Oasis Computers has been Roswell's trusted source for home and small business computers for over 30 years, and they continue to be your best resource for computer repairs, operating system upgrades, web root managed antivirus, special orders, and more. Oasis Computers is now open from 8 to 1, Monday through Friday to better serve you. Service calls by appointments and after-hour appointments are available too. Stop by Oasis Computers at 1703 North Garden or call or text 575-625-9141 for even faster service.
Edge Safety and Services LLC in Artesia, New Mexico has an immediate opening for a safety technician. Position requires a clean driving record and must be able to pass a drug and alcohol screen. Edge Safety offers great pay with IRA benefits and employer contribution towards health benefits. Please email resumes to edgecoding@yahoo.com or apply in person at 402 West Main Street inside the Edge Safety and Services facility. Edge Safety and Services LLC is an equal opportunity employer.
So you think drinking alcohol can't hurt you? It'll mess you up big time. Say adios to large chunks of your brain. Major damage is already being done. Other parts of your body are getting wrecked too. Forget about sports, forget about school, forget about doing much of anything. Underage drinking freaks out your body, messes up your life.
Sponsored by the NMDOT.
Your fingernails grow faster on your dominant hand. Not sure which is your dominant hand? Just wait. You'll nail it. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 8:58. Got a minute and a half here before we get you into the top of the hour news. Do want to remind you, next hour we'll have the folks from the Roswell Public Library join us, give us an update on what's happening there. Hey, you still got some opportunities to donate blood before the end of the year with Vitalant. Matter of fact, here on Thursday, they're going to be at the Vitalant office in Roswell doing their Holiday Heroes Blood Drive event. That'll be from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. If you can't make it on Thursday, then you can make it one more time here in Roswell in 2022 on Thursday, December 29th at the Vitalant office, again at number 3 Grand Avenue Plaza from 9 a.m. to noon. If you would like to donate at either one of those blood drives, by the way, you get a Holiday Heroes t-shirt if you donate on Thursday as well. Just reach out and call 575-840-8178 to schedule an appointment. Again, that's 575-840-8178. And Stephanie will get you scheduled, and then you can go to the website and pre-register if you've never donated blood before. That way you can save a few steps there too. But great gift that you can give this holiday season. All right, closing in on 9 o'clock. We'll be back on the other side of Town Hall News. Do not go away.
Clyde Lewis and Ground Zero is now in Roswell on 106.5 FM, KEND Roswell.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. Will he stay or will he go? Elon Musk did vow to honor the results of a poll asking whether he should stay on as Twitter's boss. Well, more than half of the 17 million plus people who voted in that poll say that Musk should step down. Incoming, it's a pre-Christmas wintry blast.
Forecasters are warning of treacherous holiday travel and life-threatening cold for big parts of the nation.
Below zero readings are likely and expected across the northern plains and portions of the upper Midwest. But even for locations down into the southeast, mid-Atlantic, temperatures dipping down into the single digits or teens.
National Weather Service meteorologist Zach Taylor also says besides the Arctic blast, rain and snow are also in the forecast.
Potential there for some heavy rainfall across the eastern U.S. And on the colder side of the storm system, we're looking at a potential for a swath of locally heavy snowfall somewhere across the Ohio Valley and Great Lakes.
I'm Julie Walker.
Canadians are stunned by a mass shooting that left a half dozen people dead.
It happened in a condominium in Vaughan, Ontario, a Toronto suburb. York Regional Police Chief James McSween called it a horrendous scene. 5 people were shot and killed. 1 person has been hospitalized, and one of his officers shot and killed the suspect at the unit. Ontario's Special Investigations Unit is on the case. McSween said there is no further threat to the community. Mass shootings are rare in Canada, and Toronto has long prided itself as being one of the safest big cities in the world. I'm Jennifer King.
The way things stand now, looks like Trump-era public health restrictions on illegal immigration will come to an end on Wednesday. Watching Wall Street, the Dow down 26 points, while the NASDAQ is off 117. The S&P trading 21 points in the red. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Attention! This is a special alert for all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an overpriced auto warranty or no warranty coverage at all. Due to the increase of new and used car prices, repair costs, and the price of gas, people are keeping their cars longer than ever, which is why CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on covered auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can save thousands for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. You could save thousands on future auto repairs. Our specialists are standing by for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-279-7495. Vehicle Protection Plan pricing is at an all-time low. Plus, drivers who purchase this coverage today will receive rental car options, free roadside assistance, and free towing. Call 800-279-7495 now for your free quick quote. That's 800-279-7495. What do you have to lose? Call 800-279-7495. Again, 800-279-7495.
The streets of Buenos Aires packed with revelers after Argentina's dramatic 4-2 victory over France in soccer's World Cup.
This has been a personal crusade for Argentinians, wanting to win a third World Cup, yes, but wanting to win it for Lionel Messi, the final jewel in the crown for their footballing icon in a country known for its tango. This was the ultimate last dance for Messi, propelling him to legendary status alongside Diego Maradona. Their mission accomplished, hundreds of thousands of Lionel Messi fans, all with their number 10 shirts, came out onto the streets across the country.
The BBC's Katie Watson. Several police officers have been killed in a restive area of southern Jordan while trying to arrest suspects in last week's murder of a police commander. News and analysis, townhall.com. With an estimated 40,000 people living in the streets, City of Los Angeles has booked thousands of hotel rooms.
On her first day in office last week, Mayor Karen Bass declared a state of emergency on homelessness. On Sunday, she told NBC's Meet the Press, beginning Tuesday, her administration will start moving homeless people off streets and into motel rooms through a new program. The mayor says they want to reach a significant number of people, but added no one will be coerced into moving just to clean up the streets. Ron DeRockster reporting.
Multiple explosive drones have targeted Ukraine's capital in a pre-dawn attack as Russian President Putin prepares to visit ally Belarus. Today's drone attacks came 3 days after what Ukrainian officials described as one of Russia's biggest assaults on Kiev since the start of the war. Russia launched 23 drones at Kiev. Ukrainian forces shot down 18 of them. More on these stories, townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3.
Tracing your goals.
Of Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Monday.
It's still chilly out there.
Still Monday.
Yep, still Monday.
It's a holiday Monday. It's a holiday Monday.
You stay Monday out there.
Yeah. Keep it Monday.
Keep it Monday.
But yeah, it's a holiday week, so like a lot of people or kids are off, mostly. You know, teachers and what have you. But the rest of us are working. What's that? I gotta turn the mic on. Go ahead, say it again.
But it's a good Monday.
Yeah. For people that are off. Don't rub it in. They already hate the fact that you're off.
Jealousy over there, son.
No.
I like getting up early.
Yeah. Actually, I do. I genuinely do.
Do you?
Well, yeah.
I hate getting up.
Even on my days off, dude, I'm usually up early, especially when I have my kids.
I'm not.
Because that's my me time.
Yeah. No, I'm usually out till about 8:30 every, I got up at 9 one morning this past weekend. I sleep in.
He does. We stay up late.
That's my yeah, I do. I stay up late, like midnight is late. You know, not
I'm
like
usually
the old days.
on like the nights off before days off. I'm usually in bed by like 11:30 midnight if I'm not doing something.
Yeah, usually that's about midnight is about my go-to. It depends on what I find to watch on the telly, whether it's something I record or something just on.
And this is where I'm different. Like, I literally cannot sleep more than 6 hours, like max. My body will wake itself up and it's done at 6 hours.
Yeah. No,
five is usually my sweet spot, but no more than 6.
No, I try to get 8. I usually, like if I get to bed 9:30, 10, and then I'm up usually before 6, a little before 6, and that's plenty of sleep. If I get to bed, because that's 8 hours.
That's a good solid 8. Yeah.
That's. Not always do I sleep that whole time. Sometimes you toss and turn, or you wake up in the middle of the night and stare at the walls, or watch TV for an hour, or whatever. But yeah, I try to go to bed at that time, and my body has that internal clock. Where around that time I start getting tired, and then sure enough, usually about 5:30 I wake up every day, whether it's a day off or not, and usually I go to the restroom or whatever, and then sometimes I'm just like, well, I'm up.
See, I have that internal clock too, but I'm pretty sure that somebody forgot to change the battery in my internal clock because it's been wrong. Like, I woke up this morning feeling rested, thinking, it's got to be like 4:30, usual time I wake up to kind of give myself a little window of time before the kids and everything before work starts. I looked at my phone, it's 1:02.
Oh.
So part of me was like, dang it. But the other part of me was like, cool, I can slip back in.
Yeah, because a part of me like, wait a minute, I got like 4 more hours before I got to do anything.
2.
Yeah.
No, I think I ended up making it to about 4:05 this morning, and then I was just up.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I feel that I have once in a while, but yeah, not that. And then we get the cats. The cats, like in the middle of the night, will decide they want to get under the covers or do something, and they usually start,
The thing that bothers me about my cats,
more Tim than me, but
and I only notice it like on the weekends and weeks that I have my kids, is every time I stand up or even like take a step in any direction in my house, my cats are like, "Oh, so you're feeding us now, right?" And so they'll start their like going towards the food bowl, and when I don't feed them, they'll proceed to just make as much noise as humanly possible until either my children wake up or I feed them.
Yeah.
They're like 3.
They know.
Perpetually 3.
That's cats. We have one that has to make sure walks in front of me wherever I go, and it doesn't matter.
Down the hall,
right? And always underfoot,
and it's always at 2 a.m. when I can't see 3 feet in front of my face, and I got a cat, and if she didn't meow, I would be like, all right, so
it's sonar.
Well, that's just it. Part of me is like in her head, is she wanting me to do something, or is she like, this dude can't see, I'm going to guide him down the hall?
She's warning you.
I'm not sure it could go either way.
At that point, she's playing seeing eye cat for you.
The seeing eye cat.
Yeah, I don't know. It could go either way. She does have an obsession sometimes where she follows you everywhere, and I literally, when I go to the bathroom, I have to close the door just so the cat will not harass me the entire time I'm in there.
we got our Christmas tree up this weekend, and finally, I know we pushed it back, but and I was putting it off because of the cats, and sure enough, I had to go to the store and buy duct tape the legs of my Christmas tree down, because the second I put that tree up, the cat was like, "Ooh, these look delicious."
Yeah.
You can hardly have a Christmas tree with cats. It's just, I don't think, possible.
Yesterday, I was scared to leave my house. I was like, at one point, I said, "Rhiannon, we need to remind me to get duct tape when we're at the store, because we have to tape the tree down, or I'm not going to leave the house this week."
Yeah. Yep. That's why we don't have a tree.
Yeah. No.
I thought I was going to be able to get away with it this year, but then the kids started asking. I was like, "You got a tree at your mom's house?"
It's
not enough.
All of our Christmas decor can fit on a fireplace mantle.
Nice.
And if it can't, then it ain't going to. Then it can't be a part of our Christmas decor.
Takes 1 minute to put up, 1 minute to take
Man,
down.
that sounds like heaven.
Yeah.
Like mine.
Why does he like messing with me?
It would be different if we had kids, but just us.
Yeah, it does complicate things. I miss not, or being able to just not give a hoot. That's a nice place to be. It really is. Everything okay there?
Yeah, it's just I get trolled about this whole Die Hard thing because I say it's not a Christmas movie, and people love to go out of their way to tell me it is. I'm like, why do you care that much? First thing,
no, it's more that they care about your reaction to it.
Sorry, you could sit there and blow smoke and show me polls all day. It doesn't make a difference.
Show me polls.
The movie came out in July of whatever year it came out. It's not a Christmas movie. Just because Christmas is in it doesn't make it a Christmas movie. Sorry.
I literally have so little of an opinion on this. It does not even matter.
I have an opinion.
And that's why
people want to change my opinion so bad. I'm like,
but that's why it's fun for me because I basically have become the meme where I'm Michael Jackson just sitting there eating the popcorn watching it all happen.
Well, they like to go at, and I'm like, look, I'm sorry that you think it's a Christmas. I do not, and I'm going to go on with my life. I know you people are. People want me so bad to say it's a Christmas movie. Sorry. And quite frankly, how disturbed is your life if this gives you warm, fond Christmas memories about a guy, fighting for his life in a building while a bunch of foreign people rob it?
I will say it is good to know that my favorite Christmas movie is the favorite Christmas movie.
What, it was Christmas Vacation.
Yeah,
it's a great
8.6 million.
Vacation.
Yep.
Is Fred Claus in there? Because I
think I saw it on there. Yeah,
I love Fred Claus.
Well, I saw somebody who put Jack Frost was their favorite. I'm like, that is
the Michael Keaton
Snowman movie? Keaton Snowman movie with the terrible CGI.
Yeah, that one's a little nightmare fuelish.
Christmas Vacation at number 1, followed by Home Alone, Elf, Four Christmases, A Christmas Story. That low on the list? Wow.
That's my favorite Christmas story.
To be honest, I think it's because of oversaturation with that movie.
Sure.
I don't care what movie you show. If you show it 24 hours straight back to back, it's going to get on people's nerves.
This feels weird though because there's two movies from this year that are on this list. Falling for Christmas with 3.2 million and The Noel Diary from this year with 2.8 million.
I've never heard either one.
Neither one. Followed by Die Hard, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, and The Holiday from 2006, rounding out the top 10.
Yeah. Die Hard should not be on that list. It's not a Christmas movie. It was released in July. It's a summer blockbuster. Sorry.
It has to be Christmas themed to be.
Well, it's got Christmas in it because it took place during Christmas.
But that doesn't make it a Christmas theme.
Well, this is what they're telling you. It was a Christmas party, and the robbery happened because it was a Christmas party. Therefore, it's a Christmas movie. Okay.
It's a Christmas heist.
Yeah.
What about that movie Krampus that came out a few years ago?
Well, that's a mental health issue for people that don't like Christmas.
Sure. But wouldn't you argue that is a Christmas movie?
It's more Christmas than Die Hard.
Fair enough.
At least that's got the intent of having Santa in it and everything else. It's a bad Christmas movie, but it's a Christmas movie nonetheless. Die Hard has none of that.
My buddy. That's how little I care about this. I just want to poke the bear.
Die Hard has none of that.
Whatever possible.
Die Hard is about a guy who was trying to make amends with his wife because he's a bad husband, and she works for a big Japanese company that's having a Christmas party that gets robbed during it. That's it. It has nothing to do with Christmas, not the spirit of Christmas. Doesn't give a Christmas message. It does none of those things.
It's true. It is responsible, however, for one of my favorite TV curse word edits of all time.
Yippee-ki-yay,
Mr.
Mother,
Falcon.
Father.
Mr. Falcon.
And quite frankly, all it does is make fun of fat people and officers that they like donuts and Twinkies. That's all the movie does.
You get
the
bear.
You get a bunch of comedic fun.
Continuing.
Get a bunch of comedic fun at the expense of some cop who was just trying to help his wife, pregnant wife, by the way.
Do you see what happens, Kim? Do you see what happens when you find a stranger in the Alps?
I'm a talk show host. This is what I do for a living. Of course, you poke me, I'm going to say something, especially with ignoramus stupidness like this. It gets me every time.
Every time.
Yep, it does. Yep.
I'll make sure to give the goat back that I got.
Well, it's funny because the people that care are low intelligence people. The people that really care, this is what they worry about their day with. Now, granted, I'm all about stupid things, and I have a lot of stupid things I'm into, but I'm not dying on the hill.
That's what I'm saying. This seems like a very small hill to die upon.
Well, I don't bring it up. People come and love to troll me with it and get me to say something when they just want. They do it to me.
You got some feeling about it because you're still going.
I'm just tired.
He's a passionate man.
Well, it's the agenda of trying to crowbar it down my throat. It's like I'm going to convince you that this movie is a Christmas movie, no matter what you say 70,000 times. Let it go, man.
Yeah, I would concur.
Let it go, let it go.
If you want to go home and every Christmas watch that stupid movie, God bless you.
It gathers.
You want to have fun and do your Christmas around
Now,
Die Hard, God bless you.
Okay.
Do what you want to do. If you want to convince me it's a Christmas movie, good luck with that.
I would argue that any movie that is watched around the holidays that brings people together is a Christmas movie.
My whole family got together and watched Caligula over the holidays. You want to make that a Christmas movie?
Yentl, Christmas movie. Caligula, Christmas movie. It brings people together.
Right.
Maybe people who shouldn't be together are doing weird things together, but it still brings them together.
Well, using that logic, every Harry Potter's a thing because, but they all gathered in the summer.
That is one thing that always bothered me.
When it came out.
Yeah, I know you got to guess. We got to get to it, but that is one thing. Yes,
okay.
That is one thing that bothered me about Harry Potter is the whole wizarding world, and they still celebrate Christmas, like they still celebrate Christ's birthday, but they're wizards, Harry. So like, is God real in the wizarding universe?
Now you're getting way too deep.
That's what I'm saying. It's like
there's Muggles though that are half-bloods that might be Christian. That
might
go to
from the makers of Die Hard as a Christmas movie comes this thing.
See,
y'all are starting to argue. I'm like,
it's just something I've noticed. I've always
pushing the glasses.
I've always wondered not just why it's featured, but why it's featured so prominently in the Harry Potter series. It really is heavy.
Nerds with mental health issues on the next Mornings with Mike Winters. All right. Poor Tracy Fry's been waiting patiently in the other room while we dealt with our idiot stuff. She's going to join us from the library here in just a few minutes. But before we do any of that, let's get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We have much colder temperatures on the way by the end of the week with an Arctic air mass headed our way. Pretty mild today, though. Our high going up to 60, a little bit breezy and lots of sun. Clear for the overnight hours in mid-20s, and then we're in the low 50s with some cloud cover moving back in on Tuesday. Back to sunshine on Wednesday in mid-50s, 30s for the high on Thursday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Let me refresh my weather. I was trying to do that and kept going to every other window but the weather window. Currently 34 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 82%. Winds currently out of the south at 5 miles per hour. Today's your most pleasant day of the week. Enjoy it. It's the nicest. Sunny skies, 62 for a high today. Winds will be out of the northwest 5 to 15 miles per hour. Tonight, skies will be clear with an overnight low of 26 degrees. Winds out of the north 5 to 10 miles per hour. For you Tuesday, mostly sunny, 54 for a high tomorrow, so not too bad tomorrow. Winds out of the northeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tomorrow night, partly cloudy with an overnight low of 28. Winds out of the south at around 5 miles per hour. Wednesday, one more day of relatively mild temperatures. Mostly sunny, 55 for a high with south winds 5 to 10. Wednesday night, mostly clear, overnight low of 27, and then Thursday, it starts getting colder to downright cold. Thursday, sunny skies, a high of only 41. Thursday night, mostly clear, overnight low of 7. Yeah, we're going to drop down to single digits for overnight lows Thursday night. And then Friday, our high is 25 degrees under mostly sunny skies. The high is 25 on Friday. Friday night, mostly cloudy, overnight low of 15. And then things warm up a bit for the Christmas weekend. Christmas Eve on Saturday, sunny skies and 41. Christmas Day, Sunday, sunny skies, 49 for a high there. So enjoy your 60s and 50s for the next couple days because by towards Thursday of this week, that all changes. All right, it is 9:21. We're going to take about a 3.5-minute commercial break, and then we will talk with Tracy Fry from the Roswell Public Library. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Hi, I'm Dr. Keon at Carabelli Dental. Same-day smiles are what we do. My passion is helping patients chew, talk, and live with confidence. That's why I'm one of the few doctors in the U.S. who can create beautiful same-day smiles with the latest digital implant technology. This procedure is life-changing. Just ask Sean.
Hi, I'm Sean. I've been that voice that you've heard on the radio for most of my life, but I'm also a dad to two amazing kids. I've had a million reasons to smile, but in all my old pictures, I was never smiling. Truth is that life of improper care and being dealt a bad hand genetically left me practically with no teeth. It affected everything from the way I ate, the way I talked, and of course how I interacted with people. And that's where Dr. Keon and Carabelli stepped in. They eased my fears. They explained every step of the process in a way that I could understand, and they made me feel almost like I was part of the team. And now I can't stop smiling. I have so much more confidence, and I love looking in the mirror now. I can't explain how much of a difference Dr. Keon's dental implant process made for me.
Our team can help you find your smile too. Come see us at Carabelli Dental, 575-622-4455.
I've heard it said, speaking my mind is easy, speaking it tactfully, not so much. Hi, this is Pastor Troy and Julie Smotherman for The Joy of Marriage.
Proverbs 15:15 says, a gentle answer deflects anger, but harsh words make tempers flare. Sometimes my greatest accomplishment is keeping my mouth shut. There are times when we argue that it would be easy to lash out. So I have a choice to make. I can either feed the fire or quench it with my words.
Julie and I have learned there's going to be arguments, but we've learned to fight and argue, not to be right, but to get the situation right.
So the next time you're in an argument, try saying something kind from a genuine heart to bring peace in your marriage.
If you have any questions or would like further information about the Joy of Marriage Ministry, please go to jomconference.com.
When Rhonda was experiencing severe abdominal pain, she knew she could count on Artesia General Hospital's emergency department to provide critical care any time of day or night.
I didn't think twice about driving the 45 minutes from my home to Artesia's ER. I felt like I was their only patient. Excellent care from everyone, and I'm thankful beyond measure.
Each year, thousands of patients trust Artesia General Hospital with their health emergency. With specialty certifications in advanced adult and pediatric life support and trauma care, their emergency room physicians have the experience you need when every second counts. 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. Learn more at artesiageneral.com/emergency.
This is John.
Hey, my name is John Jackson.
He's not some actor. He's a steward of the land with a John Deere 3 Series tractor. John runs with us. Nothing runs like a Deere. Get a 3 Series tractor with 0% APR for 72 months at your John Deere dealer today. For additional cost information, please call toll-free 855-633-2316.
Stop by Pecos Valley Equipment in Artesia or Roswell, or visit us online at pecosvalleyequipment.com.
Wakefield Oil Express has the highest quality service in Roswell with a 17-point full-service oil change that includes a full wash and vacuum at their car wash. You won't find a better deal. They also offer full synthetic oil changes, fuel and cabin filter replacements, and will even check your battery. Their tunnel wash isn't afraid of dirty vehicles. They have the best value wash in town with free vacuums. They even offer wash passes that can be used for multiple vehicles. Next time you need your oil changed, go to the fast and efficient Wakefield Oil Express and let them earn your business. 3204 North Main, Roswell.
The average American spends 2.5 days a year looking for lost items. We aren't sure how long Europeans and Asians look for lost stuff. We lost the list. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 25 minutes, now 26 minutes after 9 o'clock. And joining us in studio this morning from the Roswell Public Library, Tracy Fry back with us. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you doing today?
I'm good. How about you?
Good, good. You are you ready for Christmas?
As ready as I'm going to get.
You're going to get. You know, if it ain't done by now, it ain't going to get done.
Exactly.
So, I hear you. So, well, good news. Mm-hmm. If families still have some Christmas plotting and planning to do and maybe need to, I don't know, get the kids out from underfoot for a little bit, maybe the library can probably help you out a little bit with some of that.
Yes.
You know, and then obviously if they're too young, you can't just drop them off and say, "We'll see you when I see you."
No.
But you know, if you're looking for things to keep the kids occupied during the holidays here, to keep them from getting into trouble or opening their Christmas presents before they should and doing all that stuff, that's what my brother and I did when we were kids. Maybe that's just me. But the library's a great resource for families this holiday break here. So good deal. So where do we want to just start with the rundown here? Or?
Yes.
All right.
Okay, today, if you want to get them out of the house at 2 p.m., we're going to be showing the movie Home Alone.
Okay.
So 2
Which
p.m.
is a Christmas movie, by the way.
Oh, we're not going there again. Yeah, so at 2 p.m., come on down for Home Alone.
All right.
This week, we're going to have our regular story times on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursday.
Perfect. So if you don't, those are game on. So so maybe if you've never been to one because your kids are school age or something, come on out, bring them out to this week and get them to see, obviously middle schoolers and stuff. This is a little bit, but early elementary and preschool, that age group, perfect. Homeschool, obviously. So, but definitely enjoy story time. And as we've had Tracy on many times, and when they do the bilingual and
that's on Tuesdays.
Yeah, take your children to both. I don't care what their first language is. Make them exposed to both, because when they're that age, they're going to absorb it, and they'll probably speak the second language much better than you ever could if you do that kind of thing. And I don't care who you are, where you come from, where you've been. The more languages and the more information you have in your pocket, it's going to come in handy at some point in your life. It just is.
Yes.
So equip your kids. Nothing wrong with that. And do it all in the guise of having fun and learning stuff. So,
right.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to be closed the 23rd, 24th, 25th, and 26th.
Okay, so that Friday through Monday. And so Thursday is their last day this week, and then they'll reopen next Tuesday.
Correct.
Got it. Okay.
And then on Tuesday next week, on the 27th, from 11 to 1, we're going to have board games and popcorn.
Okay.
And then Wednesday next week, from 11 to 1, we'll have Legos and popcorn.
Nice.
And then
don't step on the Legos. You'll never forget that experience.
Well, we have the big ones, too.
So they're a little easier to not get underfoot. Well, not saying it's impossible, but it's harder.
And then Thursday, the 29th, from 11 to 1, we're going to have perla beads.
Okay.
So they're these little beads, and you can make like keychains or little figures.
Oh, okay.
And we iron them to melt them all together.
Okay. Is it kind of like a more modern Shrinky Dink kind of thing?
Probably. You can
remember those?
Yes,
remember
I
those
do.
Shrinky Dinks? Mm-hmm. Yeah. You remember Shrinky Dinks, Kim? Yeah. I think that's a more modern version of that. You don't need the oven, I guess.
Right. It's little beads. So if you bring your younger child with you, you're going to have to help them a little bit.
Yeah. But I think like we used to, back in the day, we'd make like those little window
the clinger.
Yeah, not a dream catcher, but kind of like a stained glass little round thing. Yeah, those are pretty. I love doing those. So if you never did that with your kids or want to do that, come on out next week. What day again is that?
That's on Thursday the 29th.
So next Thursday.
Right, from 11 to 1.
Perfect. So come on out and bring the kids. And I imagine it might be a little nice little headspace for the parents, too, to come and enjoy and iron and focus on making the beads just right and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, perfect. Good deal.
And then on the 31st, we're open New Year's Eve. And we're going to have our noon Year's Eve party.
Yes. We're going to party it up like until 11:59
like it's 1999.
11:59 a.m. High noon, we're going to bed.
Yeah. Everybody get your little blanket. Yeah. So we're going to have a balloon drop, popcorn, pizza, music. It's going to be like a party.
Nice. So probably way more fun than your actual New Year's party that you'll have 12 hours later. 12 hours later, you're like, let's just go to bed.
So the party starts at 11:30.
Excellent.
And it's going to end by 12:30.
So bring the kids, bring the whole family.
It's a family event.
Yeah, bring the whole family. Even if you're like saying, well, now we don't have to celebrate at midnight. We got it done at noon. We can go to bed at 10 o'clock like normal people. So.
That's right. Like normal people. Okay, and then the library will be closed on January 1st and the 2nd, which is Sunday and Monday.
Gotcha. And then and reopen Tuesday.
Tuesday the 3rd.
Mm-hmm. Very good. So again, put this down. If you don't have the calendars,
right,
you can come by and get one. But make note, Thursday through Monday of this week into next week, the library will be closed.
Right.
And then it will also be closed on Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday.
No, well, you open
Sunday and Monday.
Right.
Of the New Year's weekend.
Right.
So, very good. And reopen Tuesday.
Correct.
Perfect. Very good. And then, of course, the book drop-offs open all the time. So,
oh, yes.
So
yes.
if you turn in your book those days when the library's closed, no biggie. You just slide to the book drop and go about your day.
Yeah, and it's in the alley, so you don't even have to get out of the car if you don't want to.
Yeah. Depends how long your arms are and how skilled you are. Sometimes, if you're too tall or too short, it doesn't.
Your arms aren't quite long enough. You got to get out.
Or you got to go down, and it's like, I got to open the door.
Yeah.
It's like ATMs, the drive-up ATMs. They kind of.
Yeah, I always have to get out of the car.
Which, by the way, why is there Braille on those? Do you ever notice?
No, I
didn't. A drive-up ATM has Braille on it. I mean, why? Why isn't it? I mean, granted, so, in theory, vision impaired could walk up to the thing.
That's probably it.
But I don't know. No. I just see that every time. I'm like, if I see a guy looking for this while their car, I'm going to be very scared. If they start feeling for stuff and they pulled up in their car, yeah, I'm calling.
Give them right away.
I'll catch the next ATM. But anyway, sorry, I got sidetracked. But definitely come on out. And of course, if you're holiday traveling, if you're going to parts of the state here, stock up on entertaining materials for the trip, whether it's in a plane or in a car, in a boat, or wherever you're getting there.
Right.
That way you can check out books or audio books or music or anything like that.
Right.
But don't forget the pass too that the library offers. You check out like a book, and it's through the New Mexico Tourism Department.
Right.
And basically, it's a pass that gets up to 6 people. Into various arts and exhibits throughout the state. There's about, I think, 20 altogether on the list.
Right.
They include, like in Lincoln, if you go to Lincoln, you go to the courthouse there, it'll get you in for free up to 6 people there.
Right.
I know, like some of the museums.
Alamogordo,
the Space Museum in Alamogordo.
They have Santa Fe, Albuquerque.
A lot of the art museums, and I believe like I want to say the Nuclear Museum is on that list too.
I don't remember if that's on the list.
Yeah, I feel like I remember seeing it, but don't quote me on that. I think the Museum of the Cowboy and Cruces, so the horse there is
yes.
that is on that list as well. But basically, for free, you can get up to 6 people, and you check this pass out like a book.
Right.
You can only check it out for 7 days.
Right.
It's not renewable, and you can't do it online or nothing. You have to physically come to the library.
Right.
Go to the circulation desk and ask for the tourism pass, and they'll and they give them out first come first served. You can't reserve one or anything like that. You just and you get it for 7 days. So if you're leaving, Friday, you might want to check back Thursday, and check it out that way.
We have plenty, so
so don't worry about I have enough. It's unfortunately it doesn't get as utilized as one would think it would.
Right.
It's kind of a
I think that it's just
gem.
forgotten.
Yeah, I think it was probably used a lot a year or two ago, and now people have kind of forgotten it's still there.
Right.
It's an ongoing thing, and I don't know about you, but anytime you take a family of 6 to any like just Lincoln, for instance, I think you're going to drop about $12 a person there. So that's $60, almost $70 right there just for your group.
Right.
I'm not a math wizard, but I could not spend $70 and find something fun to do with that and not spend it. You know what I'm saying? And that's so then you can use that and take everybody to lunch or go do some shopping in Lincoln with that or something.
Right.
Or if you're in Albuquerque or Santa Fe, they got enough places to get your money. Don't if you got free opportunities, take advantage of it.
Yes.
So, and especially with a family of 6 traveling or 3 or 4, I know they can get quite expensive. So if we could save you $50-$60 here or there every few, and you can use
the trip,
and you can use it all these places. So you don't, it's not like you can use it just once in 7 days. You can use it as many places as you can get to, or if you're going, if you got, especially with the holidays around the corner and people traveling, you got family up in the Four Corners area or up Taos area or down over in Cruces. Go travel, take one of these passes with you. Maybe you can get some of their family that live there too, and you all go and see a museum there, or see something for free.
Exactly.
Yeah. So definitely just come by the front desk, ask for it.
Right.
And obviously the only requirement is you have to have a library card in good standing.
Exactly.
And you're good to go, which you can get free of charge. So.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I got sidetracked on that and got right middle of the list. What else do we got coming up?
So in January on the 7th, which is the first Saturday, we have a chess club.
Okay.
And that's from 10 to 2.
And that's for all skill levels?
All skill levels.
So if you never played before,
all ages.
to you've been quite the expert, would love to play.
Right.
And come and, and that's the good thing about chess is, like, to be honest, if you've never played chess, it takes probably 10 minutes to learn the rules. The rules of the game are relatively simple. It's just these pieces, they move here, they can move, they can't move this way, they move this way.
Right.
The lifetime is in the strategy because there's so many different ways you can, and then you get someone that plays forever, then it's like, okay, I can see what they're doing, I can counter with this, and it's the ultimate strategy game, and it's great for developing critical thinking skills.
Right.
So if you're trying to help your own kids develop some of that, I think chess is a great way to kind of spark that side of their brain a little bit and fire it up a little bit. So.
And they don't have to stay the entire 10 to 2. Like if they can only spend an hour, they're more than
whatever
welcome to
they're
come.
free for during that time period. Come on down. If you can be there from at 10, awesome. But if you can't be there till 1:30, no biggie.
Right.
I'd love to have you come out and a day with a little chess is better than a day with no chess, right?
Yes, sir.
Very good.
Okay.
But excellent. What else we got?
Okay. Also on that same day, January 7th, we're going to have a STEM activity, and it's electronics, make a mask that lights up.
Okay.
And that's from 11 to 1.
Perfect.
And then that Sunday, the 8th, we're going to have that Me and Billy the Kid program from the New Mexico Humanities Council.
Okay.
And we're going to have Ralph Estes come in, and he's going to take on the persona of Billy the Kid.
So he's doing the Chautauqua?
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes. And that's going to be at 2:30. And then that week is when we're going to start back up. Okay. The first week of January, we're not going to have story time. We're going to take a little break from that. So the 10th, January 10th on Tuesday, we're going to start back up story time, which will be the Mother Goose.
So your last story time will be this week, and then not again until the second week of January.
Yes.
Gotcha.
And so our story times will start up. Then on the 14th, which is Saturday, January 14th at 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., we're going to have a tea party.
Okay.
And Malia, who is our Team Miss USA, is supposed to come over and help us.
She's going to be serving and talking about the etiquette of a tea party and what to do at a tea party.
Teaching us a few things.
Tea party etiquette.
There you go.
Awesome. So is that with the pinky and the...
Sort of. We have a little cups.
There's a little formality to it.
A little formality.
Bit of pageantry that's involved.
There you go. And then on the 15th, so we're starting to have more programs on Sundays now.
Excellent.
Also. So on the 15th, we're going to have our first crochet class, and it's with a volunteer named Sabrina.
Oh, great.
And that Sunday at 3 p.m. to 4 p.m., we're going to have her. And
teaching people how to crochet.
Right, or if you already know how to crochet,
club.
just come on over and crochet with her. And,
Are they going to do like maybe a group project or something? Is that kind of the plan?
Well, this will be the first time they're meeting with her.
We'll see.
So we'll see.
But possibly, depending on... Exactly. Because I know that you could kind of, like quilting's, like with crochet, just because I've told 100 times my mom does it, it's kind of like the quilting where you could have multiple people if you're doing a big Afghan just working on different sections. And
they can do the squares, you know.
Yeah, where they're each working on their little squares that they put together. And then they can
attach,
Basically, you learn how to, in crocheting, if you learn how to make a pot holder, that's like the key to the rest of crocheting. Okay, you made your first pot, now make 50 more of those and put them together and you got an Afghan.
There you go. And they're like 50 more. Oh, wow.
Right.
Okay. So on Monday the 16th, we'll be closed because it's Martin Luther King Day.
Very good. So celebrate Martin. And that's a government holiday. I think all the other federal government and bank, everything else closed too. So the library will be as well.
Right.
Very good.
And then on Wednesday the 18th, we're at 3 o'clock, 4-H is going to come in, and they're going to have a little program.
Do their monthly presentation or 4-H activity.
They normally do a craft, and then they're talking about 4-H club to the participants.
If you want to learn about the in and outs of 4-H, come out to that meeting and or that craft activity. And and if you, I tell you this, if you think 4-H is just about showing animals at the fair. That's only scratching the surface. So you can learn much more about the 4-H program by coming out to one of their activities here.
Yes.
And they do it every month.
Yes, they come. They normally come the third Wednesday at 3:00.
Okay.
So.
Very good.
They're more than welcome to call the desk just to confirm the date.
Okay. So is that this? That would be.
Last week they came.
Yeah, that was last. Okay.
Yes.
So they'll be back the third week in January,
which is the 18th.
Perfect. Okay.
And then on the 19th, we're going to have our book club, our adult book club, and we'll be reading Westwood Draft.
Yes, so check it out now if you're interested, and start reading, and then join us for the book discussion on that date. And then, do you have the next book for book club at the end of that one, or is there a little bit of time in between? So
I have it available. You're more than welcome.
So you'll unveil the next one, like when you get there, it's like, all right, our next book is, and then you present the book. So so
I kind of have it like so many months in advance.
Okay.
So that
way people have
if they want to read ahead, they're more than welcome.
So or reread if it's a book you've already read before or something. But yeah. So again, tell the book again that is for this next upcoming book club.
It's titled Westwood Draft by Linda Rutledge. I believe that's how you pronounce her last name, and that's going to be on the Thursday, the 19th.
Okay.
At 1:00.
Just kind of ballpark. Give a little just kind of the subject matter of this particular book.
Okay. Well, the last book we read was The Four Winds, which was dealing with the Dust Bowl. Mm-hmm. Well, this is a Dust Bowl period of time also.
Okay.
And it's based, the book Westwood Draft is based on something that actually happened, but it's fiction, historical fiction.
Oh, gotcha.
These giraffes are brought in, they arrive in New York, and they're going to transport them across the United States to San Diego Zoo.
Okay.
And it's like this, it's the first woman zoo manager, director, whatever, is there, and
so it's almost got a little Lewis and Clark feel to it, like adventure and of this odd journey kind of thing.
Right, and it's one gentleman who's trying to get a driver to take it across, and this kid who's from Texas, but even though he's from Texas, he's still considered an Okie.
I got you. Well, that's a big deal in Texas, Oklahoma. If you're not part of either faction, then you don't know, but if you do, then you know.
Yeah. So it's just them, him picking up this kid. He's a young kid. He's not even 18, and they're going cross country with these giraffes.
Interesting.
And it's like all the characters they meet along the way.
Sounds like a fun little story, actually. It's probably got your ups and downs, little tearjerker moments, and.
Well, I kept saying, please don't let anything happen to the giraffe.
Right.
Every time I get to a certain part, and I was like, okay.
I can't imagine because that'd just be mean to write a whole story to find out that the animals didn't make it.
I'm not going to say whether they make it or not. I was going through every time they came to a situation. I was like saying, "Please don't let anything happen to the giraffe."
Yeah, that ain't right.
It ain't right.
Ain't right. But that's the whole point of the book discussion is to really talk about that stuff. And it sounds like this one will be a good one to evoke some good conversation. So pick up the book at the library. They have plenty of copies.
Yes.
And if you don't remember the name of the book, walk up to the library and say, I want to do the book club book. I heard it on the radio. Give me that book, and they'll help you right out with it.
Correct.
About the giraffes.
Yeah, the giraffes. Because I think they were the first giraffes to come to the United States.
Interesting. Wow.
Yeah.
Imagine that. First time you see one of those animals.
That's what was happening on the road. People would see them because they were all traveling because of the Dust Bowl.
Sure.
And they would say, look at that. It's giraffes.
Yeah. Something's wrong with that horse's neck.
Is that giraffe?
Yeah. What's wrong? Yeah, that's pretty cool. Mm-hmm. So that's an interesting one. So if you've never done book club before, this might be a good time to start one and try one and give it a try out. And if you love to read, but you never really thought about doing a book club, which if you're never familiar with it, it's basically a group of people will read the book. All of y'all read the book, and then you sit down and kind of share your thoughts and experiences with the book. And you'll find that even though 10 people read the same book, they might get 10 different experiences from reading it based on their own personal lives.
Yes.
And that's what's book club's all about.
Mm-hmm.
So come try it out if you've never done that. Very good. What else we got?
So we have gardening on January 21st, which is a Saturday with Drew Garnett.
Okay.
And
from the extension office. And
exactly.
Not too far from the 4-H tree there.
Yeah, all in the same week.
That's
what can I say? And then we'll have a STEM activity also on that Saturday. Well, Drew Garnett is at 10 a.m. The STEM activity is at 11 to 1 p.m. on Saturday. And that one will be combine chemicals to make a photo called a atop.
Okay.
So
I don't know what that is.
Neither do I, but our STEM teacher.
I was told there's no science and math and radio, so I don't know that stuff. I'm not that smart.
I'm not going any further.
I'm a wordsmith. You put numbers in science, and you find out I'm really not that smart. But
okay.
But I will take your word for it. So. Good deal.
And then on the 22nd Sunday, we're gonna have a craft, family craft. It's Be Kind bracelets that we're gonna create, and that's basically
very good.
That's going on for the month.
So please, if you have not done so, swing by the Roswell Public Library, pick up the calendars for December and January. They're available. And then you can put those up on your fridge and then plan it, because you're not going to remember everything we just talked about over the course of a month here. But that way you can kind of, sit down with your family and say, hey, but let's pick some things to do at the library this week or this month. What do we got here? And let's do this and come and great news is, all the activities and things we're talking about at the library are free of charge.
Yes.
They don't cost you anything. They don't cost any small fees, no fees.
No.
The only requirement is if you're checking out books and materials is you have to get a library card, which is free to get too. And assuming you turn your books in and stuff on time, you're not going to pay for that either. So.
Right.
Now, granted, life happens. You might have to drop a dime or two here, a quarter. Yeah. What's the going rate for a late book nowadays?
I think it's like 20 cents per day, but it's a grace period of.
Sure.
So if you look and your book is due yesterday, you're probably not going to pay a fine. You probably have a couple of days.
Yeah, you guys are going to hit them with a couple week fine if you're like, oh.
Right. I'm like, okay, now you need to bring that back.
Now it's serious and you don't want to do that, but at the end of the day, your fine's $5.
Right.
But either way, my point is this is all. And then, by the way, don't forget, if you go to the city's website, roswell-nm.gov, there is a tab for the Roswell Public Library. You click on that, and you can access all the free sources online as long as you have a library card in good standing with the Roswell Public Library. So if you need help with, say, tutoring for your kids, or if you're looking for download music and periodicals, magazines, things like that, all of that's available online without you even setting foot in the library.
Right.
You can even download audiobooks and things like that.
Right.
And
through our Libby app.
Yeah, exactly. There's so many different opportunities available to you free of charge through the library's website, and you don't actually set foot in the library. So, and of course, you want the old-fashioned way of doing libraries, going and checking out a book and reading it. We can do all that too, and got you covered. It's like, and half the fun is knowing that you want to read a book, but not knowing what you want to read next.
Right.
And you just pick, give yourself a good hour, at least, and just walk the shelves and see what strikes your fancy and what, maybe you have an idea. I want a mystery. I want an adventure. I want to, then go to those sections of the library. They're all pretty easy to navigate. If you have trouble, librarian can help you navigate through all that. They can relearn you the Dewey Decimal System and all that good stuff. If you're looking for the card catalog, you haven't been in a library in a while. You might. All that's done electronically now.
Right.
But please utilize it. Use this time as that time. If you got a trip planned or the holidays here, and you're going to have a lot of downtime here and there, and grab a book and check it out and give it a chance. I'm telling you, it's your thing. You do it for nobody but you, and it's all for you. And the story's just for you. You don't have someone telling you what to think one way or another about the opinion of this. It's all yours, and you do with it what you want. And
exactly.
And in a world we live in nowadays where everyone loves to tell you how to do things and where to do with it, it's kind of nice to have your own little me time for you to read what you want, think what you want, do what you want.
Exactly.
Exactly. So, and then don't forget, if you have any questions or anything, you can always call the library's main number, and staff will be happy to answer any questions, things like that. Don't forget, if you're a social media user, particularly Facebook or Instagram, you can like and follow the Roswell Public Library through that, and that's kind of your digital version of the calendar. You can stay up to date every time these events come up. They put the reminders out, say, don't forget, today's story time, or don't forget tonight's the what's going on here, and that way you can stay. And of course, if you've got questions or want information, obviously if anything happens at the library, delays, closures due to weather, that's the first place they post all that stuff too.
Yes.
So it's just good place to like and follow for information. And of course, if you're old school, come by and grab the calendars and get the magnets and put it on the fridge and circle and X through the things you want to do and don't do. So Good deal. What's the phone number if anybody has any questions?
Okay, the phone number is 575-622-7101.
Very good. Mm-hmm. Is there anything we missed? Anything we wanted to mention that
I think we're good.
I got sidetracked on, or Bruce Willis messed up or something like that?
No, we didn't really talk about Bruce Willis.
No, I didn't. I did not this time. It was more Bruce before.
Yes.
This is post-Bruce.
Post-Bruce. Okay.
Well, Tracy, as always, appreciate the visits. Hope you and your family have a delightful Christmas holiday
Same
here.
to you.
And I guess next time I'll see you, you'll be in the future, 2023.
Next year.
That's right. Be a year away.
Yeah.
And then guess what? In January, I'm going to make the joke, man, you've aged well. You look great. You look the same as you did last year when I saw you. I'll do that joke, and everyone will think, oh, groan and laugh, but
yeah.
It's my job. Sorry. Thank you, Tracy.
You're welcome.
We'll see you next time.
Mm-hmm.
All right, it is 9:52. Let's get you up to date with some local news and a quick break before we wrap up the show. Don't go away.
Now for your Pecos Valley News update, I'm Jared Cirillo. A local teenager was arrested earlier this month and charged with robbery for a violent incident that took place a few days earlier in southeast Roswell, leaving a 76-year-old woman with injuries. The investigation by Roswell police identified 17-year-old Roy Armstrong as the person who attacked the woman as she was taking a walk near Jackson Drive and East Wildey Street at about 7:30 that morning. The woman had come to a nearby food bank that was not yet open for the day, so she decided to take a walk to pass the time until it opened, police said. And Artesia police are asking for your help in finding a missing teen girl, 15-year-old Chloe Samora. The girl is about 5 feet 4 inches tall and weighs 175 pounds. Chloe Samora was last seen at her home in the 800 block of Richardson Street in Artesia, but police say she left through her bedroom window at about 1:30 that morning, December 18th, and has not been seen since. If you know anything, please call Artesia Police. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo.
Waking up on the right side. This is the Sean Hannity Morning Minute.
Republicans, if they make these adjustments, they'll do fine, but they got to understand what they're dealing with. And up to this point, they've not accepted that reality, or at least too many people have not accepted that reality. Look at what they're doing in Florida. Look at what they're doing in other states that are running successful elections, and follow what those Republicans are doing. They're not resisting early voting. They're not resisting voting by mail. And you definitely need voter ID and signature verification. And then hopefully you elect state legislatures and governors that will put in a better voting system, one with more integrity, so you have full confidence in the results. Not playing on the same ball field, that's not going to work.
From coast to coast, from sea to shining sea, it's the Sean Hannity Show.
Hey, do you want to improve your shooting? Of course you do. Now, you're going to love Mantis X. Now, they have improved my shooting dramatically. It is a must-have for every responsible gun owner. Now, the Mantis X is a high-tech but simple-to-use system used extensively, by the way, by the military, and it improves your shooting quickly and will give you the confidence in your ability to protect what you love. Now, here's how it works. You attach the Mantis X to your firearm. You connect with an app on your smartphone or tablet or Bluetooth. It gives instant feedback on what you're doing right, what you're doing wrong, and how to correct your technique. Now, the Mantis X is like a firearms instructor right in your pocket, and 94% of shooters improve within 20 minutes using Mantis X. And Mantis X is the best way to train at home. No driving to the range, no spending money on range fees and ammo. You're going to save a ton of money and improve your shooting. So start improving today. Just go to mantisx.com. That's MANTISX.com.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We have much colder temperatures on the way by the end of the week with an Arctic air mass headed our way. Pretty mild today, though. Our high going up to 60, a little bit breezy and lots of sun. Clear for the overnight hours in mid-20s, and then we're in the low 50s with some cloud cover moving back in on Tuesday. Back to sunshine on Wednesday in mid-50s, 30s for the high on Thursday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason. More than half of the 17.5 million Twitter users who responded to a poll posted by Elon Musk over whether he should step down as head of the company had voted yes by the time the poll closed earlier today. Musk previously said he would abide by the outcome of the survey, so it looks like there will be someone new at the helm of the social media platform. The European Union is accusing Facebook parent Meta of breaching the bloc's antitrust rules by distorting competition in the online classified ad business. Closely watched survey shows German business confidence improving more than expected this month. The British government plans to dispatch 1,200 troops to fill in for striking ambulance drivers and border staff as multiple public sector unions walk off the job in the week before Christmas. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason.
Let the countdown begin. In 2022 on a high note at Big O's year-end sale. Head to Big O for our best deals on tires, brakes, oil changes, and more from December 12th through January 8th. And right now, get a $70 Visa reward card or Visa virtual account after online submission on a set of 4 new Michelin passenger or light truck tires. Plus, get an additional $70 prepaid MasterCard on installation purchase of sets of 4 Michelin passenger or light truck tires. No resolutions here. Just giant deals to get your car ready for the new year. But hurry, you only have a few days left to save. Go big at Big O during our incredible year-end sale, December 12th through January 8th. Big O Tires, the team you trust. Installation charges extra. Required on all 4 tires. Not valid with other offers. Disposal fees and shop fees extra where permitted. Void where prohibited. See rebate form for terms and conditions. Additional retailer offer advertised within is independent from the manufacturer's offer.
Traditionally, the end of the year is the best time to buy a new vehicle. Well, here at the Tailgate Nation, we're not tinkering with a great tradition like that. Right now at Roswell Ford, we have the best inventory and the best prices we've seen in a long time. Lots and lots of clean late model cars and trucks ready to carry your family through the coming year and many years to come. That's because we put every pre-owned vehicle through a rigorous 139-point inspection and give you a 3-day money-back guarantee so you can bring it back if it turns out you don't like it. And we're always looking for more really nice vehicles to sell, so if you have one, please bring it by for an on-the-spot offer. Roswell Ford is also getting regular shipments of new Ford cars, trucks, crossovers, and SUVs with some impressive factory incentives. But they won't last long, so you better move fast. It's time for a new vehicle, and it just happens to be the very best time to buy. So hurry in to Roswell Ford and join the Tailgate Nation.
If your family's like mine, they're ready for some fun. Hi, this is Melanie from Glenn's Furniture. A trip to Glenn's is like a trip to Disneyland. A new buttery soft power reclining sofa and love seat turns your living room into Familyland. Cozy new bedroom furniture turns the bedrooms into Dreamland. A handsome new dining table transforms your old food court into a 4-star restaurant. And it's all in stock, on sale, and ready for free delivery. So treat your family with a trip to Glenn's Furniture at the corner of Union and Alameda.
The average American spends 2.5 days a year looking for lost items. We aren't sure how long Europeans and Asians look for lost stuff. We lost the list. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It's closing in on 10 o'clock. That's about going to do it for us for today's show. If you missed any part, check it out, ksvptv.com, and you can watch it at your leisure. Thank you very much for allowing us to be a part of your day. Have an amazing day. We'll be back bright and early, 7 a.m. tomorrow. You're listening to 106.5, Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, or Roswell, New Mexico. Have an amazing day, everybody. Take care.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com.